Um,
Seven is divine. Seven is divine.
we're gonna talk about some kids today. Our kids, kids in general, having kids, the experience being a father, normal stuff that we usually go with, and then any certain specific thing you want to draw today. Or you just working on stuff?
Um, no,
Aimless sketching
I'm just
today.
on aimless sketch. I'm trying to get better sketching because one thing I've noticed about my art is I'm kind of losing my uh fundamentals are off. Like I can make some stuff look pretty. It's just ugly trying to get it done, and I can't do that anymore. Because like the project I'm working on now, it's like and over and over and over in my head, but I don't use the formula. Just a second, please. Oh, okay. I don't have I don't use a formula to make everything to where it's simplified enough for me to finish it in an efficient time.
Okay.
I'm working on it for a long time. I'm taking time out of my life that I shouldn't. This is that and the third, and it adds a lot more stress than I go back to. I actually thought about picking up one of the. You remember the back in the day the Scholastic Book Fair draw me books, like the draw superhero or draw animals.
Probably because that would always be the ones I'd gravitate towards too. Window shopping.
Yeah. Actually, I actually have see. This is my thing. I'm late to have the material. I don't open. But
Dude,
but yeah.
I got this little man over here that I don't use and I need to be using because I want to start making my book.
We're all guilty of something, aren't we? I haven't got a sketch off in here. Don't tell me. That better no. Anyways, that must be my wow. But yeah, so I think I might even let this kind of guide my hand. Anything is possible in the sketch world, but about these kids.
So I was gonna tell you the reason why I asked that question is because what we started doing for our boys.
Justice.
Oh no, you good?
Gotta go talk to some.
Start on my drawing. How's everybody doing today? Everyone's having a good day, good week so far. We are officially in hump day. Oh. Family time. Well, he's all doing his thing, and I'm sharpening my pencil. If you guys haven't, if you have Netflix and you haven't had the pleasure of watching the movie Leave the World Behind, do yourself a favor. Give yourself a little token of enjoyment. It's a really good movie. Got Ethan Hawke in it, so you know it's a good one. Speaking of which, I did hear that they are working on Black Phone 2. That also has Ethan Hawke, which the way I remember the ending, I'd like to see how they make the second one. Draw today. I'm trying to figure out what I actually want to draw. I have no idea what I want to draw. Because I actually want to try to like get something finished. Like the past few episodes, I've just kind of been very lackluster with my result. I want to actually put something in today. And with the busy schedule that I gave myself, I never actually finished a whole lot of the ones that we did. So I just kind of left it at, oh yeah, this is a sketch segment, so I don't really have to finish anything. Nah, finish. I do it. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, let's see if I can draw some little versions of myself, like a chibi version of myself. So like chibi, they usually have like their whole body is kind of proportionate to their head, like same 1-to-1 ratio. I don't know. Let's figure it out. No, they gotta have big eyes. With my hair, it should be pretty. Okay.
Yes. Anyways, you leave. I'll be talking to you.
I tried, but I was also trying to figure out what I wanted to draw.
Yak. Okay, hopefully don't nobody else call me for a while today. What happens? Nobody called me, then I switched my banker. Everybody want my money. I wasn't there when I was low.
You wasn't with me when I was shooting in the gym?
Nah, you wasn't with me shooting at the gym.
Oh yeah, but what I was saying was what we did, what helped us is that depending on how often they use the restroom, do like 45 to an hour intervals of just checking in. Hey, do you gotta go potty? And it makes them think about it. Once they start to think about it, then they'll do a lot better with going on their own. I used to do that same thing that Zach did, where he'll just sit there like on a device and just hold it.
Yeah. How you feel that, man?
Yeah.
You know that's uncomfortable. It's kind of scary because then it makes you like kind of look at your kid like, what are you doing? You just letting it happen? It's like, is this gonna be the way you live your life? No, it doesn't have to be. But yeah, you know, sure. I think too much though. I am the world's most famous overthinker. I would say the world's greatest overthinker.
I don't know. I think Danielle's got you beat.
Let me just say male.
I don't know. I think I got you beat.
Man, I don't know. We can go toe to toe, but shoot. I thought about something that can only happen if I was 56 and 3 days old or something.
We should have. We should have. I feel like the next time that we get together, I want to write it down. I feel like that if we're still feeling it, we should talk about how deep our thoughts go. Just like what random thoughts, how long, like how far we can actually let them go for.
Bro, I used to try to let work time go by, and I would just be head on. So there's some shit. It can go. Look, 30 minutes go by. It seems today that all you see. Yeah, I was on it, but nah, that would be fun. That would be fun.
So speaking of kids, what? Since he's not going to see this for another 16 years, what's your like? What was the Christmas list like for Zach? What was his Christmas list like?
Oh, his list.
Yeah.
I thought you said the Christmas list.
Oh no, sorry.
Zach did not have a list this year. Yeah, not quite to the Santa concept yet.
Okay.
Just now getting warmed up to really knowing what Christmas is. This year, you can see he has like the period and kind of. I probably should introduce because watching all the Christmas holiday shows like Winnie the Pooh holiday or Trolls holiday, and I'm like,
oh, okay, you're
man,
giving him all cartoons that don't have Santa in it. You're giving him all the cartoons that don't have Santa. Well, Winnie the Pooh
didn't
should
do that.
Winnie the Pooh should.
Winnie the Pooh has like I think they all dress up kind of like Santa.
Yeah. Festive hat thing.
But I know I haven't did anything like specifically.
I didn't do that.
Like we haven't done the Tim Allen Santa Claus yet.
You haven't showed him Jingle All the Way? Show him who Turbo Man really is.
Well, that's one of my favorites. And honestly, it became funnier as an adult than it was.
It's cheesier.
Shouts out to Sinbad. No, Sinbad carried that shit, man. Like no,
that Brain Man's costume, whatever the hell his name was, Brain.
The problem is big people live in the sick world. Nah, but nah. That was a bomb. His face was like, okay. But anyway, no, the time is coming for that. But like I was saying, like I don't get a lot of time with them shift at work.
Yeah. So
I don't really be up on spending time watching movies. My mornings are like I said, I don't even think about putting on a movie in the morning because anything I do, I'm calculating going to work at 2.
Yeah.
I think this weekend, probably dip into some more holiday stuff. I'm feeling a little bit more holiday cheer here lately. Glad for that. Like in the last couple days, don't worry, dog. Like,
my Hennessy hat.
If I could drink, I would be pinky on Christmas right now. But right now I'm just taking it easy, trying to get.
It's a different kind of tired when you're not, like when the alcohol's not in your system after 30 days. It's just a different kind of tired. Like you can get up and stretch and feel replenished, but when you're coming off of like even like 1 or 2 like shots or 1 or 2 glasses of like liquor or a mixed drink, the next day you'll feel it. Especially the sugary drinks, like it just get you.
But then for me, it started taking like a day and a half or 3 to like really get out of the effects of having to drink. Yeah, and it's just like I don't need this right now, dog.
I think the reason why is because like depending on how you use your body after a certain point in time, it just sits like everything else does in your body.
Well, my diet and physical activity habits are trash. So let's just ring that all in. And any problems that will come overweight from alcohol, I'm experiencing right now. So the smart thing for me to do was, you know what I mean. But I think I'm gonna try it. I mean, I've been on a kick about like having an occasion where I was sitting have like 2.
Yeah.
That because I know it's like done for. not wanting nothing but start vacation. That you can put those two and two together and then understand what's about to happen. But no, I am excited that Zach is getting into the holiday spirit, and you just reminded me how much time I'm going to have to take that and get some of that feeling in his chest that I used to have. Like, actually, I see what he's feeling because I used to feel it. I don't feel it no more because I'm adult and now I'm heavy lifting for him.
Yeah.
Instead of on the receiving end. I actually love it.
Kind of gave me a revelation on how to be better as far as like celebrating. I don't know what happened to me, man. Like,
What's up, Scrooge?
so it's not that I don't like Christmas. I usually just celebrate it for family, but after a while, the younger me just kind of like died with it when it comes to holidays.
Ah, man, you lives in them boys.
Yeah.
That's why we talking about kids. Honestly, that's one of the things that I want to touch on about kids is how much Zach is kind of like not even necessarily like reawaken a child's side of mine, but it's more so like he helps me remember what that little boy was. Like, you know what I mean? Especially since I be having so many moments, like just black men in general or men in general have moments where like they try to fix things from their childhood kid, and like you can address it, but you can't approach it like that because you was in them shoes at one point in time or the other. So.
I guess I have to look at it that way because I look at it from a point that I have to be the one that leads them to a knowledgeable and wise future. So I guess I lost that tendency, and I understood that I lost it. Like there was a point in time where I was just I don't know. I'm not as I'm more festive now than I was when I first started having kids. Like my first boys, I guess even knowing my daughter too, because it would also trickle down to my nieces and nephews when we were all living under one roof. But no, like I just kind of lost this sense of being able to celebrate it as a child. I celebrate it on the simple fact that I get to hang with family, but yeah, that childlike wonder for holidays was gone for a long time.
To my son, man.
Because now I'm just like, when people go like, "Hey, what do you want?" I'm like, "Just shop for the boys," because I don't want anything, and I'm being completely honest.
Real?
Yeah, because I'm an
you want no shirt, no FUBU short set or nothing.
I'm an expensive date, and usually I can buy my own stuff. So I'm like, if you're gonna spend your money, spend it on my boys because, you know,
I'm an expensive date. At least you admit it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a pick out a vinyl.
Yeah.
I'm a pick out a shirt. If you ask me, well, normally, like, my thing is, I ain't about to say I don't like people shopping for my son because that's bull crap. But I like to be in control of what's in the house a little bit more.
Okay.
And it's not even in a bad way because they got a bunch of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But when I say get something for the kids, it's gonna shirts that I don't need that they ain't never gonna wear. Some more. Yeah. Gotta specify.
People will be like, "Hey, what do they want?" I'm like, "No toys."
Yeah, because like how I told you about Zach's birthday, I wasn't trying to be like mean about it or anything.
No, we understood.
And then I started to think about like how spoiled we were, how grateful we were supposed to be, and all this other kind of stuff. And it's like, how can you do anything otherwise when you're already flooded with toys?
Yeah,
and, you know what I mean. This
yeah,
other kind of stuff. Doors are filled.
Right.
You can't even hardly close them. Your cup is running over.
See with us, we were like, okay, whatever they haven't touched in months, gone. Like like when you lay out all the toys and they go to pick like a good 5 to 7, you can go start throwing away 13 out of all 50 of them.
Yep.
And then what I do, I slowly throw them away. If I see that they're just laying on the ground and like they haven't moved, or they only move because I'm telling you to clean your room, but they're only out because you dumped everything out, I start slowly throwing stuff away.
You gotta donate them bad boys, man.
Yeah, and I told myself one year to start doing that because we had an abundance of toys. But no, I think that's a good idea.
If you next time you do that, hit me up.
I'm childish.
I love it because I was hoping you would catch it because I knew I was gonna say it.
I usually say it in my head when people do it, and I laugh to myself.
You can't say it, yeah.
But no,
This is the place to do
yeah.
it. Fine, ain't it? Let's get it. Yeah, man. But I mean, yeah, hit me up next time you do that. Jack mine.
Oh yeah, okay. No, yeah, that's a good idea because yeah, our first thing is like no trash, and I think a lot of times is because Kai is rough with toys, so a lot
Oh,
of
okay.
breaking, and
That's
I don't
fair
want to
too.
give anyone broken toys, because like they had this big T-Rex that we had Aslan's birthday, and Kai likes to take other boys' toys and be like, "This is mine," and I'd be like, "No, it's not yours. You're playing with it to
It's
try to have some kind of
territorial.
dominance, but understand it's not your toy."
I'm not gonna leave here with this player. That's what I mean.
So they finally destroyed that, the foot off of it. Like there's a peg that goes in it. They broke the peg. You can't like I'm not super gluing it. And
What
then,
is it?
so like they had this like T-Rex and the foot of it where you should be able to snap it in and out. They broke the peg of it.
Oh, okay.
So you'd have to super glue it together, and at that point it's pointless because you're just gonna break it again. And like when they understand something's broken, they will continue to break it. Like it's their main focus. Like Kai has a thing when we go to my mom's house. There's a Spider-Man toy where the head comes off pretty easy, and he'll pop it off every time we go over there. And then like he'll have it on his finger or something. So like they have this thing where like they know it's broken. They're just like, oh, I remember this snaps. And it's in my head, I'm like, it's not supposed to snap that way.
Felt bad for Mama's friend. For decades, love them to death.
The bad one.
Oh man, it was one of the Transformers that was in the box. You know, it was in the toy box getting roughed around.
Oh, okay, all right, okay.
It wasn't one of our Transformers that we have now.
Put on the dresser at night.
Nah, man, I kind of laid the part back over off like as I think it was like a head or an arm, something kind of important, but I didn't say nothing because I'm out. Like I'm not rough with him, but if it's gonna break, it's gonna be in my hands.
Right.
That's just what it is. I always break some shit. But I slid that motherfucker over, stopped playing with it. And I really broke that man's toy. But like, I don't know, like toys always be getting broke, but
You just heavy handed.
he had some fire toys too, man.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, he had all the connects and the erector sets and stuff, all the stuff. I like, guess what he is now? Engineer. But not for real. I'm a firm believer in something. Get that sensory, yeah.
Because if it wasn't for me losing interest in life, I probably would have did something with the fact that I was loving connects. I hated the fact that like when I was younger, I didn't have the imagination or the skill to put my imagination to building better things when I was a kid with connects.
Bro, you know how much I sucked at Legos? Damn, the connects, I didn't even make it to the connects because I didn't get no Legos.
I did connects because I couldn't do Legos.
I probably could have. You know what I did that would be the closest to any of that? Model car. Oh man, I love some. Even to this
like
day.
Painting them or putting them together?
What'd you say?
Like painting them or putting them together?
Putting them together. I tried to paint them, and I didn't know how the enamel paint worked.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize you had to prime the plastic.
Oh. Okay.
And that enamel paint, if you primed it, it would have went on. Had that oil on mixed in with it.
Okay.
And, oof. But
that's what got me into doing Gundam.
How many Gundams do you got?
Let's see. I think in my lifetime I've had maybe 3.
Oh, okay.
It's because like I was never really like, you know, blessed with being able to get my own stuff, and then like
that's kind of like me.
When birthday came around, I didn't think about asking for Gundam. I was thinking about all the other stuff, but I had an interest in it. So like whenever you wanted something, it was either birthday or Christmas.
Might have did about 6 or 8 cars. That's wild because it was so many years been doing them. between that, I stopped at. My parents bought me an old Mercedes Benz model,
Uh-huh.
and it was actually, and I kept losing pieces, or stuff wasn't fitting, or I was missing stuff. So man,
Yeah.
that's what I did. I even went back to it a couple times because I still really dig doing it, but yeah, it just didn't work out.
Uh-huh.
But I'm gonna try to get Zach forward in that at a little earlier age. My mom was she was one of those ones about the small pieces.
Yeah.
It has small pieces and stuff. I don't want it. Da 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 da.
Right.
You're gonna lose it. Okay. Which sucked for me because there was two girls in the house. One of which was, luckily for me, interested in painting and shoes, and the other one had a very pink Barbie room. Yeah, probably imagine which way that went. Painting shoes and shit. But no, I've been thinking about that. I actually bought Zach some Legos for Christmas. Poor and upset, and I'm trying to get him a table to where he can build on top of. You know how they got them tables.
Yeah, we wanted to get one for boys.
They expensive
Just
for
like
what?
all you have to do.
You know, if you got like a small kids table already, or if you buy one second hand, you can just buy the slats Legos for like $15 each.
Cheaper.
I cut them up myself if I got to. You know what I mean?
Because this is what you really gotta do and glue it down. Like you can get like a $30-$40 table, get one of those slabs, and
I'm crafty. I do not mind, and neither does Zach because he don't know what the hell it is until I introduce it to him anyway. So I mean, let's go.
That's what we were wanting to do, and then we tried the table. We met, or my dad and his girlfriend at the time got us the table for the boys, and it's one of those ones that has the styrofoam top and the like the leather or something like that covering. First week, pour into it. And then, of course, with kids, when they see that something's ruined, they ruin it more. Paint, they pull off the wall. The table, they kept pulling the thing off, and then they pulled more pieces off, and they were pulling the stuffing out. And then they did on the chairs. With paper, they see that one thing's ripped. They just rip the entire thing, and then rip that thing into pieces.
That's the shit that I wanted to do. That was the shit I was also getting asked for. I mean, if the Nerf ball had a bite at the end, okay, cool. But I mean, you didn't have a few of them phone joints, man.
So have you saw the meme where somebody they have it where they're like, but why was there always a bite taken out of this thing?
Yeah, no, that's where I got it from because it was so true. I didn't realize. I mean, I kind of did because you go to everybody's house in the same spot or kind of one off to the side.
Dude, do you ever get mad when you were a kid, or even now? Like you go to pick one up and it looks like a perfectly like good ball, and you go to look.
It ain't right until it's a chunk out anyway. So you know, I get mad if it ain't a chunk out.
I would put my finger in where the hole is to throw it.
Yep, that was that extra index getting that flick out of it.
Or if it's in the middle, you put your finger. I was like, okay, one bite is fine. When there's two bites, I don't want to play with it.
Two or more is psychotic. You did not want to go to his house no more.
I'd be so excited to go to a kid's house and oh, they got a foam ball. Man.
No, and then you got the kids got the foam ball and that motherfucker be all crusty. Ain't be kind of coming up off the, let this out for how long? I want to play with it? Oh, man.
I would look at a ball first before I touched it because just know if I want to touch it.
Well, if it was a basketball, I wouldn't look. But like one of them foam balls that looked like they soaked up everything that might have. That was different. Ain't nobody chewing on no goddamn basketball like that. That's a real psycho right there. Yeah. You go to somebody's house, they chewing on a basketball. I've never.
Not an orange, man.
Nah, man. It makes me curious. See what these little jits.
What you use the term jit? That's where's that term from?
I don't know.
Is it a Jersey term?
On Facebook, that could be a jersey too.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just fits. I very rarely, like, I've never really that word, but kids just wasn't about to roll off my mouth.
Yeah.
It's almost on the level of, like, I'll never say the word Riz unless I'm talking shit to some word Riz.
Piss them off. What
I-
do you? It's
it
like,
would
did
be
you
so
riz each
funny.
other up? Do you
It's
riz
so
your
funny.
homeboy
Like, you
up
ain't got no
today?
Riz. Like, I just start talking shit like a 44-year-old instead of a 34-year-old. But
I'll be
I'm good.
playing Titanfall, and like I didn't realize how many high school kids play that. Like freshmen. That's an old. Well, that's an older
Overwatch?
game. So
You said?
Titanfall 2.
Oh, Titanfall 2.
Yeah. So that's an older game. Actually, I got it right here. But I didn't expect high school kids to be playing like freshmen now.
Titanfall. Who made Titanfall? Really? High school
Seven-year-old.
freshmen playing now?
Yes. Game. It's amazing, and the thing is that the reason why it's back is because the servers were getting DDoS by hackers, and so they finally fixed it after years, and like it's heavily playable again. But when I stream, like I have this one guy, his name's Caden. We usually play together on Fridays. He's having some issues right now though with his equipment. But like he'll bring some people on. Like he's very social when it comes to games. Me, I'm just like, oh, if we talk, we talk. If not, whatever. Like he's open to go like invite people to parties so they can voice chat and stuff. So I envy that. But like I've never understood how out of place and at the same time annoyed I am with teenagers and listening to them use their lingo.
And look, I'm old. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I am old. For you to catch me using that was is far and few. Because first of all, teenagers can't stand. Like I can't stand teenagers. So I mean the feeling is mutual. But
Kids.
basically, them is the kids I be talking about. The little innocent ones is cool. As soon as they like get to the age to where they know better,
Yeah.
Zach is almost out of there. He about to start pissing me off.
That's Kai. Boy, he's annoying on purpose.
Yep.
He gets that from his mom. Like he has this thing I call idiot voice, and so like whenever he wants to be annoying on purpose, he'll get loud. And I know he has a lot of energy, but I know he does it on purpose because he knows it annoys the hell out of me. He gets loud, and then like whenever he's trying to say something, like the other day he woke up singing "Merry fucking Christmas," no, Jingle Bells. He woke up singing Jingle Bells. Like me and her are talking because we got up early, and then next thing I know, all I hear is "Jingle Bell, Jingle Bell, Jingle all the way," and then he goes "Jingle Bell, Jingle Bell."
Why you gotta do Patrick Star though?
He does dumb voice for some reason. He'll do that whenever he's doing something. He'll just do dumb voice. So like, whenever he's like, okay, let's say he's telling, and like sometimes like he'll like have a conversation with himself. Like he'll be like he'll recite a line from a movie. Like let's say the line was, "Don't go down in the basement." He'll say it to himself a couple times, and he'll go, "Don't go down in the basement." I'm just like you. Hard.
You gotta laugh.
I can't say that because I've been
You gotta
trying.
laugh.
And see that's what I'm saying. Like I that childhood wonder because I still do that. But when I hear my kids do it, I'm like, you fucking
But
idiot.
that's what I was saying. Like you gotta remember, you don't even know why it was shit that you do.
I still do.
But
dumb
like
shit.
parenthood is all about like looking at them like. It's just like it's like that, man. But nah, I don't know. Yeah, I'll be giving that look too. Like Zach is real affectionate. Well, and I'm not a very affectionate person at all. I can be like, but
I feel that one.
honestly, it's just saying in my it's not a good look for me. It's a good look. It's just not a good feeling for it. Ugh. Look, he know. Zach will crawl up on his mama. She's very affectionate, so of course she's just soaking it all in. And he'll do this and he'll up and look at me. He ain't got to the point to where he's smiling yet, but oh, that moment he cracked that smile.
You look at Silas, he goes, "Yeah."
I don't know. He probably won't smile at me. I know he knows. I already got that Samuel Jackson look on my face on Black Snake on there. The boy senses danger quite well, but not for real.
I have to give that look like 50 times a day.
I bet you. I mean, what dad don't? I know my dad would have way more if he was
Softies? Soft dads? Like,
yeah,
no,
I guess so.
Tyler, don't. Come on, man. Hey, buddy. Let's not do that. No, I'm like,
You know what? In a lot of cases, I've caught myself. I am a softie. Like even with your boys, like I mean here.
that's different because they're not your kids.
Nah,
And I'm here.
I'm about yeah, touche. But we let them do all kinds of shit. Even if sit up here in the room, I was like, "Nah, I know your daddy would say no, but
It's,
come on in here, let's turn up."
and
real
that's
quick.
why they like you. They're like you. They're like mom. They're like they actually enjoy Zach because Zach's you guys are pretty much the same. Like
Yeah.
they'll play, but then he's like, all right, no. Zach's more leaning towards me than he is Danielle.
That's funny, but yeah, I mean, it's just kind of a thing. Like me and Zach, he knows like if I get to the point to where I'm right there, I done already told him a few times. We done already played about it a bunch of times. Just I don't know, but yeah, I mean, I don't know no dad that didn't ever hit that corner and like or pull up. Like everybody knows that'll shut.
Dude, I had to do that the other day, and I actually laughed at myself for this one. So
You got to.
I was
man.
in the restroom, and the way the couch is, like, you can actually lean in, and if the restroom door's open, you can already kind of see. But I made sure he saw that I was looking at him, and so like it played out in my head like a Vine skit where like he was sitting there playing around, and like I heard him because he's supposed to be going number 2. So he likes to sit there and play sometimes, and so I heard him. I paused the game, and I was like. So from his end, you can probably see my neck and head just doing this, eyes wide open. From me, I just see he's just sitting like. When they double take and they just kind of stare at you, like, yeah, I see you, and I see that you see me seeing you.
Yep.
And then they drop that head, like,
Yep.
all right.
Yep.
I was just like,
hurry up. Kai is funny, dog. But
Oh.
yeah, it's
people be laughing at him when we're around company. People will be like, and then laugh, and then he thinks he's gonna be a class clown.
Yep.
And he's gonna be the reason why I go to that school, and my box is like, boy, I brought my
You wanna
belt.
pull up? Gonna be the one to pull up?
Yeah,
Is your belt gonna be on or off?
it'll be on. I'll be wearing basketball shorts with a belt on. Mr. Hamilton, what do you do?
You gonna be like Pootie Tang wearing them overalls with the
Hey,
belt?
when I braid my hair, I already look like the motherfucker. That's why I was at the wedding, calling myself DJ Booty.
All right, might have to run with that one, dog.
DJ Tootie Pang. For copyright infringement and shit.
There you go. Tootie Pang.
Tootie Pang. You know what? That gives me an idea. I'm gonna make a song with his voice in it somehow, and I'm gonna call it Pootie. No,
He already
Tootie
got
Pang.
that song out. It's called. Turn that noise down.
Oh my god! As a kid, that was one of the funniest things in that movie.
Because my man was up here like just
Turn that noise down, damn it!
Oh man, that was gold.
And then he should have turned around and said, "I don't want no trouble."
You know, I started doing that at work. If I say that to the wrong person, I'm gonna get my ass whooped.
They're gonna be like, "What? Oh, no."
Nothing. I don't want any problems.
Oh, okay. No, it's all right.
That's it.
Cool.
What you want?
Alright. You can just unlock my door.
No, wait.
No, he unlocked it. He knows how to unlock it.
Oh, he's good.
He watched me.
Sorry.
Thank you. I'll leave the door alone.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And see, my thing is, I can't help but to think that I'm probably gonna be the one to egg. Like, and not in a bad way necessarily, but like, he's probably gonna act like that because I laugh at it. I'm not gonna not laugh at it.
So whatever your reaction is, understand that's probably her reaction. She'll sit there and laugh and be like, "Oh, babe, come on." And I'm like, in front of him though, like, let's laugh together later.
Oh my goodness. Yep. Sometimes it'd be like that.
She'll just be sitting there cracking the hell up, and I'm just like, "Yo, shut up." Be a model parent. And you like, because he'll sit there and get a sense that it's funny, and he'll smile, and then continue to be annoying. Like, look, this is on you now. You deal with it.
Yeah. Oh, I love pulling. I'm watching this. I said, I love pulling that car. I know shit. Woody, let's steal some apples.
You know what? I'm definitely gonna get some sound bites from that movie.
Yo, man, I need to find the DVD. Like, you talk about, I'm trying to get. I think Amazon has it.
I know Voodoo. Voodoo or Tubi. Tubi's probably got it.
I forgot.
Actually, no,
Nope.
I
I
feel
don't
like
think I've seen it on
Tubi
Tubi.
has it.
I don't think it's.
Where to
But Voodoo, you can buy stuff and like purchase with your account and shit like that, right?
Yeah, that was the first digital.
I'm glad it's still around.
I
Wait a
mean, with
minute.
all the
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
DVDs,
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a
They
minute.
give you the free download for it.
It's on HBO.
Oh, for real? Yeah.
Don't
Oh, they
tell
say it's
me
on
that.
Hulu and
That's for the
Prime.
premium subscription. Sometimes they'll tell you it's on Hulu and you have to have a certain
Oh,
still.
yeah, like
Yeah,
Showmax,
yeah.
Showmax and everything. Well, it's on Amazon, and all you need is a Prime account.
You know what? You know what I want. You know what I want. Hard copy. That's like this will be like buying a vinyl for me, of an album that I want, that I don't want to. Nobody tell me that I can't listen to. Right?
I typed in Amazon on Amazon.
What'd you get?
Booty Tank belt.
Not about to play. Why is the Blu-ray a Pootie Tank? Bruh, I'm not about to play. Why is it? Best Buy is still selling Pootie Tang Blu-ray for $17. That's a lick, dog. I'm not about.
Oh, it's not even for rent. It's for Prime Video. The Blu-ray $17.99. That's why, because I would almost say that you could probably find it at like CD Trade Post or something. But that's a stretch. Because who out here is looking for Pootie Tang other than us?
You know what? Not many, because it's probably gonna say like product sold out if I look at Best Buy. Let's see. Oh, they got it. I should add it to my cart just to be funny.
I would add. Oh, serious. That movie's funny.
Not giving me.
Hold out. Not in stock.
Oh, okay. Thought I heard that beat before.
That's the stream song.
Did you make it?
Yeah. No, I made it on stream.
You made it on stream.
Yeah, one.
Oh, you were streaming while you made it?
The extra Thursday, one of these days. I think in August. Yeah, no, I streamed it, and I was so happy with it because I had pretty much finished the entire song in like the 3 to 4 hours I was streaming.
Mm-hmm.
I've never done that before. I've never made a song that fast. From start to finish, all I needed to do after getting off stream was mix and master it.
Okay.
Oh my god, I was so fucking.
And see, that's how I want to be about these sketches. Even though I get distracted by looking up copies of Booty Tang.
You get those moments because I was in the zone. I was in the zone. And it was just me and Sean. No one else streamed that day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I was like, bet, about to go. And that video alone, like the finished product, you might have seen me post it. That was one of the not the stream uploaded video, but like I put an actual music video out for the song. 32 views.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. On my other videos are getting like 16, 18, 20. And
I was thinking, god damn. Copy of Kung Pao off Amazon is $27. Kung Pao. Yeah, it's as funny as it sounds. I'm really sitting over here looking.
I was just thinking about that movie the other day.
One of us is wearing a push-up bra. Oh man, that's hilarious. That is hilarious. If I had those two movies, I would be happy.
Dude, you gotta just do a top 5. You gotta throw Shaolin Soccer in there, Kung Fu Hustle, and Last Dragon. No, that's not any more comedy than like action. What was around that era?
I haven't seen Shaolin Soccer.
Oh.
Or all of Kung Fu.
All of Kung Fu Hustle?
I've seen definitely a bunch of parts and probably could add up all of Kung Fu.
Dear.
Did you see me sitting over here with my mouth covered over? Because
I was trying to figure out what your problem was, but okay. So yeah, you got a laundry list of movies to watch.
I told you, man, it's bad.
Dude, Kung Fu Hustle was awesome.
They scheduled me for that sleep. I got scheduled for a sleep study. So I mean, clearly, if I can stay awake long enough nowadays.
Oh, I gotta put you on to something, buddy.
Uh-oh, what's up?
There was a voiceover movie that came out around that time. It's only comical because it was voiced over by R&B artists and rappers.
It wasn't Volcano High, was it?
Yes.
That was my shit.
My god.
That's one I need to find, boy. It wasn't funny. No, it wasn't a comedy, but that movie was dope to me.
It was.
Everybody was in that movie.
Maya, Aunt 3K, Lil Jon, Big Boy.
Oh man,
I'm so glad you know about that movie.
Hey man, y'all hear me talk about him all the time on here. That is the one I watched it with.
For real?
Yeah.
I think my stepdad put me on. No. I don't know. Okay, do you remember them actually putting it out on BET?
I thought it was MTV.
Thank you, MTV.
Yeah. BET ain't that good.
No. Not even now when they need it.
Well, actually, I have to stop because BET only got that bad after they sold to Paramount, aka MTV.
Is that when they put Bow Wow on?
No, that was actually a little bit before. Bow Wow was a little bit before.
Welcome back. This is 106 in Park. I'm your host.
If I'm not mistaken, either that or the very early stages of that happened. But
Bow Wow's such a clown.
Man, I was listening to Lil Bow Wow the other day.
Okay, Lil Bow Wow. I'm talking about Bow Wow.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say because you gotta his music when he came out for what he was doing at that time and his age was. Yes. For think about a 12, 13-year-old kid putting out music and rhyming like that, he did a great job. Whatever.
Romeo was better.
That was Master P's son, of course you. Well, I don't think you. He's still on the topic of kids. We ain't too far off topic because they was kids when this shit was popping off. But no.
Okay, who had more hits, Lil Bow Wow or Lil Romeo?
Lil Bow Wow. Yeah, Lil Romeo had like 2 songs, a couple features,
Who did
and
the
an
Harlem Shake better?
ICDC endorsement.
Lil Romeo.
Lil Romeo did do the Harlem Shake better, but Bow Wow could still. Lil Romeo just had a real good Harlem Shake.
Well, Bow Wow was just shorter, so it looked better. They were all both wearing 2X, 3X clothes.
That's hilarious. That's a good one.
Tripping in their own jerseys and shit.
I couldn't say I was a Lil Romeo fan like that, though. He didn't have that many songs.
I wasn't either one. They were both annoying to me.
Bow Wow was good when he first came out because he was actually, like, tough.
I liked him because of Like Mike.
Nah, man. Like Mike was when the second album came out. The first album, he well, you know, that was supposedly Snoop's understudy.
Yeah. So, okay, I know there was always the whole nephew thing when it came to Snoop, but was that actually his uncle or uncle nephew?
No, Snoop.
Okay.
This is a lot of people, uncle,
yeah,
nephew, cuz.
Yeah.
But nah. I told you about that Charlie Wilson story, didn't I? Was that you I was telling about? No, that was Ashley.
Yeah, I don't remember.
You know who Charlie Wilson is? You dropped that bomb on me.
Oh, okay.
Baby. Also, hey girl, how you doing?
Oh.
My name is Charlie.
Wow, really?
I just want you to know that you are really special.
Damn, he was in the game for a long time. Okay.
Tulsa, Oklahoma, right there too.
Really?
Shouts out. Yeah, he's from Tulsa.
Oh.
The Gap Band, Greenwood, Archer, and Pine.
Uh-huh.
Those are the 3 streets on Black. Got the bomb.
Their names are streets in Tulsa?
Black Wall Street. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. That's why that song, You Dropped the Bomb on Me, that's how it came. That's why it had that double meaning.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I played that at the wedding and I got the old head approval.
Did you?
No, I'm sorry. I did play that. That wasn't the first song. The first song I played by the Gap Band was I can't even remember. The Machine or something.
Yeah. But now Snoop actually saved Charlie while he was on drugs because Charlie Wilson was Snoop got him right, got him with the recovery specialist, Charlie Wilson.
Ooh.
And that's how they got the Uncle Charlie.
Okay.
But yeah, I thought that was interesting.
That is because if you think about it, that was one of the big things that Snoop Dogg did that go unspoken of. There's a lot of influence that Snoop Dogg had to people of all genres in the music business.
Genres, ages. You know, it was Snoop has that personality. So I'm a big. Not even. I like his rapping.
I like his flow.
You know, it is because it's it's cool, it's mellow. You know, it ain't super hard, but it's hard.
Yeah.
And I'm a huge fan. I don't know. His rap is like when it comes to other rappers, I got a lot more on my list rapping.
You just can't go wrong with Snoop Dogg.
No, you really can't.
Like he's one of those artists where like, if there's ever a clutch moment, put on Snoop. Like he's one of the greats, but you wouldn't put him in your top.
With that said,
3, 4.
Snoop Dogg is not the same as Lion.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to try to give that album another chance.
I actually thought the same thing, right?
When I first heard it, I was like,
bro, what is you doing? Like, that's exactly what I was thinking. Like, really? But I mean, hey, but then we embrace Andre 3000's album, like, you know what I mean?
So Ray, we might have been too young for Snoop Lion.
So you know what I mean? You know, that's a very possible thing. Just simply because
he was ahead of our time.
I don't put it past Snoop being ahead of our time. His time at some point of his career, you know.
I mean, come on, Sexual Eruption.
That's my
dude. That's still
I did not
song.
expect.
I love that song.
Just a second. Hello. I was a bop, man.
Dude,
it was a bop.
As a kid, especially that music video.
I mean, you say kid, that's high school. I mean, a kid in that aspect, but how old was you?
I mean, I was like 3, 4 years behind you, so freshman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was no freshman, sophomore.
Hello? Hello? Mike, how many times we didn't do? Hello?
I'm off after the third hello.
My thing is, they called me back, and this has been happening. It's like, and
what's
right,
the number start with? 844?
6.
860. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Somebody wants some money.
Yeah.
It ain't like I ain't got it. I just switched my banking account, so now my checking, and I gotta do. But trying to do some different things with my. I'm trying to do some different things with my banking, and I knew like I'm not organized enough to just call everybody and be like, "Yo, this is about to change." So when you want your money, you just
is that you could always update that on apps and websites. Why are they calling you when you just updated it?
I didn't update it. That's what I was.
Oh, okay.
I changed my deposit.
Oh, you moving things around?
Yeah.
So you're literally like you're actually moving things around.
Yeah, I'm actually moving things around.
That's still an update. But my thing,
but I didn't update it to anybody that's taking money.
Right. So my thing is that if you're making those updates, they are quick to be like, hey, let's make sure that we get ours. Instead of waiting until you actually owe them something, and they'd be like, "Oh, hey, we saw that you might have made some changes. Let's go ahead and update that."
At this point, it's all past Tuesday.
Oh, that's.
I just been waiting for them to call me. Think about how hard it is to get through to these people calling them. How hard it is to log into all these accounts. Like it might be a couple of days late, but at this point, let me give you card information.
That's right. Yeah. Unless they're super big, they're like, "Oh, we."
Unless I can go to the store and then say, "Hey," or like my Photoshop is already updated and stuff like that. But that's the easier stuff. That's the stuff I use all the time. So,
you pay for Photoshop?
I was having a conversation and I was telling them what I wanted to do with my life since I got back from college. I gave them my 10-year plan. I'm on year 9. Spoke to this a few times, but on year 9, and seeing that before I went out and set out into the world, they just do me one favor, bootleg. And I just looked at them. So I did, and I've been paying for it for.
It's a good feeling.
I don't even notice it.
It's a good feeling.
I don't even notice. Like I'll be broke, but
that's it. I mean, do you pay annually for it? No. Oh.
I mean, no, I can't. I'm not. I hate making big purchases, and this is like not for real because it's gonna be about $600 out of my account if I
do annual.
If I do annual.
Wait, what?
$50 a month,
dude. That program's no more than like $300.
I have the suite. I can download any program I want.
So you have the Adobe suite?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
I did say Photoshop, didn't I?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what you primarily use, but if you're paying for, do you use the entire suite?
I use Illustrator, I use Photoshop, I use Animate, and I use...
Yeah, you use... Oh.
Yeah, any of those that I can switch and need do, yes, I use.
Okay, that's understandable. So, I mean, but if you think about it, especially with them, there's always some kind of deal where if you do the annual instead of the monthly, you're saving money. You could probably save yourself a few months.
Oh, here,
do the whole annual.
Here's how the thing, how I started with the student.
Oh, okay.
WSU students, so I was paying like $20.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I'm not a student anymore, so at this point in time, it was just like, okay, well, they did that for years.
Yeah.
Technically, I'm still saving money. How long I wasn't a student paying student prices. But that's a huge reason why I
Okay. Well, what was I gonna say? Nope. Okay.
Oh. I'll come back to that one later.
That one's gone in space.
Back to these babies, man.
Okay, how about this? Let me ask you a serious question. What were some major changes you saw within yourself that you're very proud of before, like the transition of before having a kid, finding out you're having one, and then now having one and dealing with one at him being at the age of two, three, three,
Three.
three, yeah. So before having a kid, like, okay, kind of give me some points of where you were at before having a kid when you found out, and then now having him at the age of three, and when with one more on the way. What are some things that stand out to you that have changed within you that you're very proud of?
Man, I thought I was perfect. And not in the way that like I was arrogant or anything, but like I thought what I was doing was the right thing all the time.
Okay.
And dealing with a family, dealing with a woman, dealing with her kids, our kids, her kids, my kids, I've learned a lot. Grace is one of the biggest things I've learned being a dad because uh, I didn't have any thoughts of people just not simply being able to do one thing or the other, and I started seeing a lot of my dad and my son.
Mm-hmm.
And I would never say that that's just a terrible thing, but it wasn't. It's not perfect, and I was starting to see feel way about myself and not had confidence.
Yeah.
So I started turning into my dad a little bit, which is, like I said, not a bad thing. Not a good
Not at
thing.
all.
Not a good thing, but not a bad thing.
There was things to be learned and changed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I've really been looking at like repeating cycles, making sure that I can check myself. I've learned, checking myself has been a big one because
Breaking generational.
I ain't really
curses.
nowhere. Yeah. I ain't nowhere. Not to say that I won't be anywhere. That's another. This shit is seasonal.
Yeah.
This shit is seasonal.
Yeah.
But yeah, I learned a lot of grace.
I want to say, I think the best way to put it for us is that we learned to break the curses that our fathers were learning to break themselves. So like each time that one of us was born, we were taking on what we learned and wanted to change it. So and the time that our fathers were living before us and when they had us up until we separated and like they were able to figure things out and learn and change on their own, they were going through the same cycle. But from their era, it seemed to be a lot more difficult because the refining moment or the refining factor about being a man from their time is who they are now, and they're starting to understand that like maybe I don't have to be this way for the rest of my life, because it was a very rough, difficult time for men like that. Like one, like you don't know if you're being drafted or not to a war that you don't want to fight, that you don't feel like is your own. Work is the main focus because
wait. What year was it? Damn, boy.
Times in the 50s, 60s, 60s.
My dad was born in '58.
Okay.
They wasn't drafted though. They draft for
Vietnam War. I mean, oh really? Oh, okay.
Well, no, the Vietnam War was the '70s, right?
Uh huh.
So if
Oh no, you're right. They probably weren't.
they weren't quite
Your
old
dad
enough.
might have been.
Nah, because he
Huh?
would have had to been
76.
because he was when in 1970. My dad was 12.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh yeah, and I think it was like from
75.
75.
Yeah.
So he was almost there. You know what I mean? We had
I
an
mean,
uncle that died in the.
Everything for Vietnam started in 55.
What?
Yeah.
They was fighting that long?
20 years.
They wildin'.
That was 20 goddamn years. Yeah.
Yeah, they wouldn't have drafted that late.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have drafted.
Okay. So corrected. No, not the drafting part, but like I guess coming from fathers who were drafted. So
Yeah, I mean, like even still, the household had that area.
There was a structural understanding, like, hey, because the draft can happen to any time. Be this kind of man by this age.
Well, my grandpa was a Korea vet.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Plus, yeah. So I mean, I'm not trying to negate the
No,
with the timeline difference.
Yeah,
but,
more of an understanding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, my dad came from being born in the house,
Hmm.
holes in the floors, type
Mhm.
shit. Like he was very poor.
Yeah.
So that whole area, like where he wanted to do sure that he never had to live. Yeah, that came in heavy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say he overcompensated. He wouldn't have known if he didn't.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So
And depending on where you were living in the country, there were some, economic issues going on too, especially in the 80s.
wow,
Huh.
dad helped in.
Really?
Yeah, started popping off until the early '60s, right?
Right.
So 1960, 5 years old.
Uh-huh.
They're going into school. He started at one school that was in an all-black town.
Hmm.
Closing down. When they integrated, went to town, down south of where they were.
Hmm.
They integrated, but it just goes to show you, yeah, this is the kind of the mindset that these folks was coming from.
Yeah.
My dad picked cotton.
Yeah.
Yeah, not in the way, but in the sharecropping way, which is a generous step forward. But
Okay.
but yeah, man, I mean, that stuff ain't too far away. But like going from a byproduct of that mentality to fully understanding that that's from what seems like is centuries behind us.
And even that's short.
Huh?
And even that's short.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, centuries, between 2 to 3, that's 3 grandparents. If they all lasted 100, that's 3 different grandparents.
But I like to tell people all the time is as far, and that's not, and that's because we've only advanced that far in material technology. Yeah. But our heads, that's probably why kids is a big reason why kids are screwed up right now. Yeah, we're not used to taking all of that.
So much.
So
it's what is it called, a sensory thing, because like when you're overloaded, kind of like with us and social media, when we're overloaded, like we're sitting there scrolling, we're just like, we want one thing, and if you spend so much time on it, especially on your phone, especially at night, in the low lights of night, and you're sitting there scrolling, you got that bright ass screen, and you're just looking for things to like appeal to you.
I'm ready for my eyes to be like, I can't get away from it, but it hurts some. Gotta get off of here.
And when you're looking for things to appeal to you, and then you finally get off, you're just like, all right, you don't understand it, but you tend to carry that want, that desire through everything. That's why a lot of teenagers and adults now, they have this kind of like privilege about them, that they feel like they deserve everything. Especially kids now, like they think they deserve everything. Very entitled.
Well, when we had little kids like who's that little rich girl that got robbed? Asian girl.
Trae?
Yeah.
She got robbed?
I think she got robbed. I heard something bad. Not
she
morbidly bad, but
faked her death.
Okay, that's maybe what it was.
And the whole thing was like, oh, first it was like, oh, my publicist said it, and then she's like, oh no, my dad said it. It's like, well, the fact that you didn't say anything for weeks, acting like you didn't know. You have a social media, like, and yeah, the whole her just
got bad baby,
pregnant.
About time. Thought it happened a couple months after the video, but
yeah.
But you gotta think about that. Kids are seeing this. You know what I mean? We weren't monitoring what our kids listen to. I love when I heard boys in there listening to stuff about house taking care of things and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I like that song because me and Zach, well, I listen to rap music all the time, hip hop, whatever. We still get it down real good to the hot dog dance.
Hot dog, hot diggity dick.
Yeah, man. That's our stuff. But it's important for kids to ingest that, especially when my favorite style of music is going to the shitter, and not even just in quality. I'm gonna stop saying that because I got at least 5 rap albums that I heard this year that were great. We need to shut up about how hip hop is just a terrible area because you don't look for shit. Then
it is because if you think about it in numbers, you said that there were 5 good ones. Out of how many were released this year? That's horrible.
It depends on what you're paying attention to. Like my mind is thinking towards getting rid of the. I'm trying to gatekeep.
Mm-hmm.
I don't consider it.
Oh,
okay. Rap can be whatever it want to be. I mean, you got who's that? The rapping dude back in the day. He took rap, and whoever, anybody can rap. Not everybody can do hip hop.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta keep that separate.
Okay, I get that. Yeah.
I don't want to say rap is in a terrible spot. People are letting things be released. The sound, have that sound. It ain't got nothing to do with it's live.
There's no substance.
All fabrication, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But from my favorite thing, my favorite TDE I had Reason came out. Lead album.
Who?
Reason.
Okay.
Killer Mike's album came out.
Oh yeah, the new
one. No, well, it's his debut solo. He had all the mixtapes back in the day, but Killer. You ain't listen to Michael? You say you ain't been heavy on rap. Hey Tremine was good. Larry June had a good album and probably a tape come out this year. All that kind of stuff, man. We're not about to sit up. And I didn't even mention nobody from Elder, but I'm sure they probably had a couple out. And we are being overrun of like what's in minds.
Yeah.
We could all say that, but then again, that's just discrediting the people that really come out and do stuff.
Yeah. I've been trying to teach myself to do that. When I see that there's people featuring in a song, I've been like, okay, let's see what they have.
Yeah, you gotta do that. If you're looking for new music.
Yeah.
But if not, yeah.
It's probably always been the norm, but I never followed that.
Yeah, man. Kids see all that stuff. After what they're seeing, I don't mind listening to whatever you listen to. Zach is a fan of Barbie right now.
Every time we get in the car, especially when we're going to my mom's house, Mommy, I want Barbie. Mommy, I want Barbie.
But as we do that as men, I remember, and I was playing with. I don't remember like doing the whole set up teacup thing, but I played with my sisters. You know what I mean? It's a thing. The Barbie music.
Yeah.
Right.
It was very colorful.
Zach hasn't seen it, but now every time, they run an ad about Barbie. Oh, Barbie. That's as far as I let it go. Now I'm kind of saying, oh, that's for girls. I'm not stressing it, but he's gonna hear me say it.
Yeah.
But it's just things that your kids been seeing are gonna see.
Yeah.
And think about the shit that you seen when you was young.
Yeah.
We grew up with Uncle Luke. I've mentioned him before. But we grew up with Cinemax. We grew up with
Channel 16.
Channel 16. Boy, Friday night about to be lit. No, it's not. Turn the light out, no.
Turn the volume all the way down to 3.
Set the last channel to 46 Nickelodeon.
That way you can go up to 47.
Motherfucker got a candle lit and shit.
Hit press channel up or down.
But I mean, also that kind of doesn't have a good hold in this conversation because it was.
Yeah.
But we did have things that made us think a certain way, regardless. And for us to try to put so much control on what the kids don't watch is more stress than it needs to be. You fighting the whole world at that.
Yeah.
Um, rather than just sit up here and setting it straight. Yo, okay, what it is what it ain't. Know what I mean? What you do and get out my house, or you know what I mean? Until you can buy
Yeah.
your own. Whatever. No, it's interesting though. Just thinking about where I was, what I was doing. Catching home. Scary for you.
What? I've never found a fear in it. I think because I always know that I can always figure things out. You know, I've always got some kind of plan that has a backup. That, you know, if I don't have a backup, I can form a backup and I can make things work. Like I can make things work, and I also know to put the needs of someone else before mine. No, I've never actually feared parenting. I think what it was is that when I had my first kid, I think I just feared the situation because me and my daughter's mom weren't together, and you know, nowhere near it. In my eyes, we weren't, because I was like, I'm not putting up with. So like I had a kind of short recap on that. It's like I was away from my on and off girlfriend at the time because she lived here and I was in Texas, on and off. So like when times were off, and sometimes done me when they were on. I wasn't always like, we had that kind of dynamic where like it eventually got to the point to where my foot wasn't always in, because it was like, okay, like we talk about it, we get back together, we talk about it. How many days or weeks before you go back to being why I separated from you in the first place? And so out of that pain and anger, I would just be like, whatever. And so eventually a fling with my daughter's mom turned into a long-term fling, because we worked together, and like, you know, it was always like, you know, we had an actual attraction with each other, and I could just never make her the one, because I'm not going to deal with two of the same person, one being away and one being in front of me. Like, she was acting like my ex, and I was like, no, I could never do that, amongst other things that made me know that she was not the valid candidate. But you know, when the action was there, I was like, I'll take that instead. But it was, I think, all in all, because it was the first time for everything, I was like, okay, what do I do? Because we're not together, and I don't plan on being with her. I'm not just gonna get with her and settle because we have our first kid. Mind you, she has 2 other children before me. So I was like, I'm not just gonna throw myself in this, and I don't see, you know, I'm not, my heart's not in it. I'm not, you know. But after I was able to, you know, understand I could do it on my own, like I was cool. Like, I was working on getting my own place, got my own place, and then my car started messing up. Like I had 2 jobs. Yeah, I was going through a bunch of stuff back then, and it just wasn't the best time. But some things happened with me and my mom, and we had to leave. That we came back here. The one thing that kind of destroyed me was that when I was here, I thought me and her mom were gonna be like really good co-parents. And she was like, oh, you know, I'm going through this and that, I'm struggling, we'll do this. Well, okay, we'll do that. Well, I'm like, well, we're running out of options to help you here. Well, why can't you just come back? I have nowhere to be, and I don't ever want to go back there again. How about you just send her to me, get yourself straight, take it right back? She always made an excuse as to why I couldn't have my own kid.
Of course.
I would fight with her daily. Daily turned into weekly. Weekly turned into monthly. Monthly turned into every season. Every season turned into I no longer care. And I think that was honestly the start. It was definitely a good hit, because it was a mix between fighting with her about having my kid and then losing my brother. and then everything was just like, I no longer care anymore about anything. I'd still be there for, because I'd go visit. I'm making the trips to go visit, right? And then, for everyone's eyes who are wanting to be so-called traditional, oh, you're the dad. You're supposed to make things happen. Well, what about her?
You can't say that.
She's a parent too.
You can't say that.
Right.
Because you're the dad.
Right.
That is the plight of the father, man.
Yeah.
Is, we don't ever get the say in. You know what I mean?
Right.
We're structured to make the wives' lives. Period.
The woman's.
The woman's life easier.
But I started to live my life on to negate everyone's ideology, everyone's traditional ideology, because I'm like, we're all humans, we're all equal. Like I'm not one of those people who think, oh, men are above women and blah blah blah. Like, I think we're all equal, because I've met women who can operate like a man. I've met women who can work like a man. I've met women who would never even see the light of day of a trinkle of idea what it is to be a man.
Right.
I've seen the spectrum of how a woman can be, and I've seen the spectrum of how a man can be. We've seen sissy ass guys, and we've seen too strong of guys.
Get us out this factory and go raise some hair.
But for like all the people that I've met in my life, I understand that there is no definite idea of a man or a woman. We're so fluid now.
Especially now, right? Because we've done a really good job of getting out of that tradition.
Yes.
Until it doesn't work for the person.
And that's the thing. People try to force it to work. So like for instance, like now when we're dating, they're like, oh, are you like this? Like, we're going through an itinerary of how we want our partner to be. That's a good and bad thing. It's good because like you understand how you mesh right now, but you also understand with the same list how you can venture out from this, get out of your comfort zone, because you're looking for people to be this way. Are you this way?
No.
Through and through.
A lot of the times for the worst of the person, a lot of times it's the answer.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it so invalid that people are accepting this part that society is not what it has been.
What's it called? Having standards.
Yeah, the standards need to be there. They absolutely do. Well, why can't you supplement me for my insanity? Because you're costing me this much down the road.
Yeah.
After I've explained to you, like, the best thing you can do to somebody that's just kind of in your way or whatever, just ain't really meshing with you, is explain what the problem is. If you're not willing to accept or to change that, then you don't need them. Whether you've been in a relationship for 5 days or 5 years, it's like that, and it should be that simple. It should be that simple, right?
It should be.
But to nobody it is, right? Like let's be real. How many people really say that? If you've been with somebody for 5 years, you'll be like, well, it just ain't matching. I'm just gonna break it off. 5 years, I'll wait. I ain't never been with nobody.
And people don't know how to date anymore because they're too selfish.
My ears pop. Sorry. I never knew how to date because I'm socially awkward in the first. Like, I had no hopes. I didn't date very much before I met at all. I was a whore for a while, but
we both, champ.
Hey, I take pride in saying 4 years. I wish it was more, but that ain't the case. And
yeah. I mean, because you had fun. Like, that's how I was too.
Did
like,
I?
You did.
When I'm older now, it's like I didn't. Like, that's the part that sucks about it. I can't really say it was that fun. I done got older and sobered up.
I mean, I guess your idea of fun has changed now because you kind of see what it actually meant to do those things.
Yeah, I just wish I had a little more game back in the day. Capitalize on.
Yeah.
The hindsight is 2020.
Where would you be now if you did though? Like, you probably wouldn't be where you are.
A couple $100 more in child support.
A lot of these guys who have so-called game, where are they at now? Like, they're too focused on that.
I didn't want to be like them. I didn't want to be like them at all. So I said, people always have me confused. Like, oh, trying to be like. First of all, I am always going to be the person I am. I know that, and I had no interest in being. guy,
Yeah.
especially that I see around here.
Yeah.
I want your girl. I was like, I don't even want your car. I want your girl. I mean, like that's how I was.
Yeah.
Like, but you know, it just wasn't me, and I definitely like throughout life I can remember and recall situations that I did not that naturally just didn't happen.
Yeah.
It was probably for the absolute like I'll tell you the story about me being in Vegas, right?
I don't think so.
Terrorist attack.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I was there.
During 9/11.
No shooting out of Mandalay Bay.
Was that country concert?
Yeah, I wasn't at the country concert.
Oh,
I wasn't at no
no,
damn
I didn't
country
know about
concert.
that. The guy shooting from the window, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, I didn't know about
Yeah,
that.
we stayed in the it was a Monte Carlo at the time, right by that T-Mobile. But it was changing shortly after we.
Oh, okay.
But I had fun. She was digging me. I was digging her. We was in Vegas, the city of sin, you know, down for whatever, right? Oh boy, did his thing, shut the whole strip. Straight to. Straight to. Just like, I don't know, rejections and all this kind of stuff. I guess the biggest takeaway I get from it now is just that I've never really operated outside my lane. And the times that I probably was about to, I got bumped back in there quite abruptly.
I feel that.
It sucks.
Because, well, no, it's a good comfort because, like, for me, I always, like, had an interest in girls that I knew were out of my league. But I'm like, I'm not going to put in the effort because I don't play the game. Like, if you're showing me an interest, I'm going to show interest back. If not, yeah, I find you attractive, and you know you are. But am I going to sit here and be like every other guy? No. I'm going to find the one that...
chokehold, boy. I was like, I don't care what lane it is. Skirt.
I eventually got to that point, and I was really, like, upset with myself because I'm like, this isn't why girls don't care for guys in public, because you become a little pushy. And I was letting drugs and alcohol do that. I was like, no, I'm a dunk this shot, not shoot it. I'm gonna dunk it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't like this version of me. And I was like, I understand why I stayed safe in the show me attraction and I'll show you attraction back. Because don't get me wrong, there were a lot of girls out there that would flirt, and I'd be like, so what's up though? Yeah. And they'd be like, oh no, well don't flirt with me. And then, you know, not expect me to like push, because they got so comfortable with me flirting back and it'd be fun. And then I got to a point where I'm like, no, but like I really want something to happen. And so like it would change the dynamic, because like they're like, oh yeah, now I can't play with them. It's like, well,
you know what the sad part about that was? Like, I got that a lot too, but they would think that I was some kind of a freak.
They had, I shouldn't say they had to, but like if so, like they would think so far as to be like, okay, if anything ever happened, you know, I'm pretty sure they thought that you would have fallen in love with them, or like maybe they had some other interest around, and like, you know, the girls are always trying to play their game. Yeah. It's just like they want you to play for them. I'm like, no, fuck that. But in order to knock you down a peg, to remove you, they're either too nice about it, or they're harsh, and they can be indirect. Like there are very few that are very direct about it, and I appreciate the ones who are direct about the rejection. Let me know. Hey,
I like direct rejection myself.
Like, don't play with me about it.
Harsh rejection.
I'll take the harsh rejection. I'm like, all right, bet, cool, you know.
Not after it's been like an acquaintance type of thing.
I would take it as like there was no reason for you to give me a harsh rejection. There's something about you that's like, there's a reason why you shut me down this hard, and it's not your personality. Therefore, I know you're hiding something, and you probably helped me dodge a bullet.
I don't even be thinking that quick. I just like, oh man. It's like, I used to always think it was me. I never thought it was like anything else but me. That was a big personal insecurities. I would think about now, like how insecure I was and scary I was back when. So I was bored, but
we don't help as young kids and young adults. We don't help each other out, because we're always trying to be like, well, not all of us, but you know, like girls grow up thinking guys are dogs and to choose the right one, but to make him chase you, and the guys are all like, "Yo,
I ain't cheating.
put game on her, make her feel like blah blah blah," but like there's never like a what happens after. Like, do you ever remember being told how to spit game, but then like what to do after? Other
Just
than
be
like,
yourself, bro.
I've never heard like a post successful game. Like what do you do after? Oh, they're like, okay, find the next one. Like, what do you do with the one that you picked up? I don't think as young men we tell each other enough to be like, okay, talk to her and let her know it's not going to get further, or hey, we're just friends, or blah blah. But it all depends on what you say leading up to that moment. Because if you're saying things, if you're doing fuckboy stuff where you're just like, oh, you know, I want to do this and that for you, blah blah blah, you get in where you want to fit in, and then you completely drop off. That's a no. And honestly, I'm pretty sure if anyone has ever watched this, they'd be like, oh, well, you did that. Well, I don't think I did. Because I would always make sure to tell people, hey, I'm not in it.
Yeah.
For the long run.
Yeah.
We can hang out and
well,
do anything else.
I was always like that too. And if I was lucky enough to get to that part of the conversation. Yeah. Now for real, I'm always very respectable about my intention. Mm-hmm. Because I don't want I ain't gonna sit up here and tell you I ain't gonna fall or whatever. Because I'm a simp in a lot of cases. I'm not gonna lie to you. You ain't about to get up. I'm not taking you to Cheesecake Factory. We don't even have one here. But I'm not that kind of simp. Where if I like you, like for real, then I really like you. You know what I mean? And girls don't like that.
That's not a simp. Nah. Because you have good intentions. People who are simps, like let's for instance, let's say you were acting that way towards a girl on OnlyFans. Like you were putting your whole life into her. Like you're putting half your life into her, knowing you're like, oh, I want that one chance with you, type of thing. Oh no. But no, like you're gonna make sure that there's a reciprocation with someone who's on OnlyFans. You know, you're getting a smile, and you're like, oh my god, honestly, that gets me through the week. Dopamine. But even the whole simp thing is stupid because it's like, so you can't have an interest in a female. Like you got to be some kind of like alpha all the time. Like that's weird as hell to me.
What is
the idea of a simp where people clown you for like being affectionate to a woman?
Honestly, there's a difference between that. And I'm glad you cleared it up for me. But I make fun of people. No, I do. Who constantly give. And I don't make fun of them in a bad way, but I let it be known that they not doing what they need to be doing. Yeah. And not even in a way of any masculine stuff. It's like, because I do it to a woman, you know what I mean? Like, women let it happen all the time. I'm going to tell you, but you're not being treated the way you need to be treated. You're not, you're not doing it for yourself at this point in time. This person is using you. Mm-hmm. And
I can't say lie, like I haven't made fun of people. It's easy because you're just like, you're stupid. But then we look back and like, oh, we made the same mistake.
Well, my thing is I haven't, because I didn't date that. That's just happening to me right now. Shouts out to it because she got it at this point. She did it. She did it. But no. I said that.
Great or good? I'm the greatest good you got.
Facts. I do be feeling like Frozen sometimes, though. Oh man, that's funny. But not for real. I don't know. I was never good at. I'm just gonna pray for Zach because you gotta get it from me. Got to get his riz through
He's already got the charm.
He's got a beautiful face, right? He's got a great charm, but I just hope that he doesn't. Whatever I picked up at one point, because everybody says I have this charm and I look good and all this other kind of stuff. I just personally don't.
You just need the confidence.
I have a lot of confidence. Like for myself, I know who I am, but for what society wants in a person, their ideal person, it's never going to be me.
Okay, so let's say we were both single, and I'm like, all right, bet we're going out, and we're both coming home with something.
Okay.
You would be able to go before drinking. You'd be able to go out and talk to a girl of your choosing, knowing that there may or may not be reciprocation. You at least want to invest in it.
Can I fight this with a good joke?
Yeah.
Go back to my single days. Now you got to set some parameters on what it means to bring something home. Because if I got to bring something home, it's not going to be the you know what I mean? It's just
No.
kind of a joke, but I'm in those shoes.
Here's my thing. If I know that there's some kind of attraction to it, I'm on it. Like, I'm not looking for 8s to 10s all the time. Because like I said, I like to understand that there's a reciprocation. That's where I really thrived. If I knew you like me, oh yeah, we're doing something.
Yeah.
Most of the time, it's, you know, I've been turned down. I'm like, okay, no,
I've been turned down plenty.
There's someone else.
Also, like, a lot of the times, the women that I'm attracted to are weirder than. So if you're giving this conversation, you're like, I don't know, it's just this thing. Like, I guess it's like a social anxiety, and I have it, but I can't help but to treat people the same way because like it takes you by surprise. But sometimes I would go up to a girl like I thought would like me and all that kind of stuff, and I kind of, I'm digging her and all this kind of stuff, and
yeah,
you would be like unresponsive in the same way that I might have been in a certain time because I know what it's like to, you know what I mean, feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it just wouldn't work out. And I felt bad at thinking about it because I was like, dang, she looked pretty cool. But also I realized that like love is
no, it's almost like I can't even say you have to be two attractive people because as long as you're
in the club, you almost have to be.
Not really, because as long as you're interesting enough to the other person, and because think about it, a lot of times people are drinking enough to be like, oh hey, I really like your vibe, and then you end up getting somewhere.
Well, that happens. I'll put it to you this way: from the inside, I used to be a bouncer. Guy that looks like he has the most money, gonna go get one of the most straight up girls.
Yep.
Whether he knows her or not, he probably going to approach. He's going to try. He's going to really be one of the ones that can. Because he has probably 4 or 5 other dudes around him that she might like. But she knows the situation. Yeah. So she'll let him stay. Clearly not necessarily do, just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's kind of the thing, like, yeah, it's usually that's society acting in that way. This dude with that looks like this or is making this kind of money or whatever you would think that the girls would want this guy, go get the girl, especially the guy. Yeah. Guys will date girls just so a lesser guy doesn't. Or not doesn't have to, doesn't get her before he does. Yeah. He don't care about that girl. No. But yeah, guys are territorial like that. So of course he's gonna be getting that girl that every guy sees that turns in and man, look at her. He's gonna get, you know what I mean? He's gonna try. And that now to me that happened. It happens so often, and everybody's different. So while that Kim Kardashian clone over there is probably getting all the attention, I call her Kim clone. There's some guys over there picking up the slack as a motherfucker close. Or some nerd chick that came in and the other nerd over there, they found each other and had a real good night dance. Just all that kind of stuff happen often. Yo, we saw like a role playing shit one time. Yeah. And we was like, we could kind of tell it was like they would eye each other from across the club and it was eye each other across the club. Like it was almost too perfect of a situation. Like got there damn near. Ooh. But I don't know. It just seemed like one of those got on Tinder and I'm gonna do a fake random encounter. Just looking at that kind of shit, yeah, it just depends on what you focus on. Yes, but if you're good at not focusing on society, none of it. No. None of it.
And see, it never mattered for me because I was able to pull girls that people were like, how?
Yeah, you got
And
poontang hair.
And then I would get girls that are like, why? I've gotten the how and I've gotten the why, and I'm like, because
Yo,
there's something about them, and then there's something about me.
other conversations I used to always, I don't know why you go for these kind of girls. I'm sure any of these kind of girls will like you. Oh yeah? Why don't they? Tell me. I mean, it sounds great. Don't get me wrong, and I appreciate you giving me the compliment of what you think I could do better. But
Yeah.
if I could, I would. Like,
And there's always something that comes with
that was the
type of girls.
possibility for real. But like, the girl doesn't want me inside the club. The girl wants me outside.
Yeah.
She wants me to do club shit outside the club.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If she wants me at all, that's. But this was a girl that I know most of the time we would be doing some club shit. You know what I mean? Like, you can't tell me that and then think that that's for real. Not really.
Yeah.
Like I said, I hope to God Zach doesn't develop whatever I developed. Like, I had a stutter. I used to be real shy, all that kind of stuff. Like, I want him to be able to get out and wherever he's at, be able to
that's kind of a double-edged sword, because if Zach's able, if for instance, if he ever picks up on any of your quirks of social, like any social quirks, whoever he finds, you know he's gonna find a good one, because if any girl can look past those quirks and she's like genuine about it, you know you've got nothing to worry about, and he has nothing to worry about, because he's gotten through the gauntlet of everyone being able to like meet him, and then just for them to go back and be like, oh my god, he stutters, and then it's like, well, he's still a genuine guy, but you never got to know that because you couldn't get past the fact that he has a speech impediment.
I can't convince people how many, like, not for real, like for real. And I know, like I say, when I say I'm not confident, when people say I'm not confident, it's bullshit. I'm speaking from.
Yeah.
Like, I would go to pretty. They like literally that lip turn up to like, damn. Like, not for real. It's like, I could tell you no, but I'm not gonna. Hey. Then I went to Brooks. Brooks was. Let's be real here. Brooks was hood. So I went from Park City to the hood.
Yeah. Living
in suburb-ish type stuff. Man, I didn't know what to do. But I mean, as far as like knowing who I am, myself, and all that kind of stuff,
yeah,
I got enough confidence to, to know that I'm not out here down too far, man.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I usually know how I come off to people, regardless. Knowledge itself is a powerful thing, man. Even guys look at me. I went to the club a couple of months ago, maybe a few, and this little, my homeboy was in there. This little tiny chick come over here dancing. She wasn't dancing on me. She was dancing close to me. Bro said, "Hey man, I think she trying to?" And I was like, I just looked at her. I was like, and it wasn't that she was ugly. You know what I mean? It wasn't that she wasn't attractive. None of that shit. It was just like, with me, she's gonna hear me talking about something. Like,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, of course, I have a woman.
Yeah.
Like, no. And so that puts an alarm off in somebody else to say, it's like, he's not acting this way. Here, what's wrong with him?
Yeah.
Yeah, people will question me a lot about that. And it's just like, nah, dog, I can't talk in here. I can't hear.
Yeah.
There's nothing like, and if I'm such a mental person. If we can't come together here, I ain't got nothing. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna talk to you. Not in a selfish way, but just as we're not gonna.
There's definitely a connection needed. Some guys can look past that connection because they only really want one thing, but and I have to be able to like not call you stupid. I have to be like, okay, no, we can lead this somewhere.
Nah, but like, I'm not stupid, but I ain't got no. right? So I'm going to crack a joke about some shits. It's going to throw somebody off.
Yeah.
And I laughed in the middle of my jokes. Some girl told me that was awkward. But you know, I just kind of start cracking up mid sentence, but like that, I guess a little bit. But yeah, I mean, no shit. Oh well. I'm just kind of curious to see what my son's gonna have to deal with the world, how he's gonna respond to it.
I got the Three Stooges in the that goddamn room. I'm trying to figure out how
At
they're
least
gonna
there's three
fit.
of them. You know what people gonna do with them? Oh, we'll talk about them. They're gonna be a subject of conversation.
Between them and then all my nieces and nephews, the Hamiltons are gonna run this city for a little bit.
All right.
And not in the best way. Oh
hey man,
man,
don't say that. You never know, right?
it's just like they
bad.
No, but like because there's so many of us, they're gonna know to stick together. So if anyone's trying to like pick on one, and they call each other up,
in the unity,
and especially knowing how me and my sisters operate, especially me, it's like if you mess with one Hamilton, you're messing with all of them. We know how to hold our own, and we're all about one-on-ones. But if you're thinking about like if you're like a 2-on-1 and you're a 2 against one Hamilton, well, either disappear or be ready for what's coming, because like you don't get to do that. Because we're all like, oh no, fight your own battle, but best believe is if it's more than one person, yeah, no, you got us.
My family were not fighters. That was hard for me. Because I'm big for.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't know. It's just I'm the younger brother, so that's a whole nother thing. A lot of people. My sister actually fought a 5th grader for me when I.
You were getting picked on by a 5th grader? No, I was the big kid.
In 1st grade?
I was always the big. So until middle school, I was always one of the either tallest or biggest kids.
Nah, I mean like got picked on by the old.
No, because usually I was about their height.
I wasn't that big. Well, I was like, I don't know. I wasn't even that fat enough.
I guess I can't say that. I mean, because I obviously knew when a kid was.
Bro, you went to Brooks. You didn't get picked on by 8th graders?
No. Yeah, I wasn't. I was. Well, So no, it's not like I ever got bullied or anything. But like as far as my presence,
8th graders.
As far as my presence goes, I was probably non-existent.
At least you was non-existent then.
Well,
because I was a target, boy.
Like by 8th grade, everyone was actually starting to like. I was more known. I guess I wouldn't say popular, but I was more known. So I was a bit funnier. I was a bit more present. I've been there all 3 years, so like people know me. But like I was more like some of the people from the basketball team made more acknowledges to me, and like but by that point they also knew that I was kind of funny.
I was a lot of shit back in middle school. Brooks was always mad for. Parents was kind of started getting real concerned about me. Brooks. I was just late blooming. Like I said, kids was kind of like making fun of me. I was big soft.
Okay.
So I played football and shit. But I didn't have the fight react.
Right.
It didn't ever kick in like when it needed to. I would get mad afterwards type shit. So I didn't want to fight people.
What was that guy's name on Of Mice and Men?
George. Well, no, George was the little one, wasn't he? Hey man.
No, because the bigger guy, he was a softie, but like he had that killer instinct in him.
Yeah.
He had more than the dog in him. He had that lion.
What's his name?
He crushed, what was it, the rabbit?
Yeah.
Got picked off at this.
That's Lieutenant Dan. I didn't even think about that. You know it?
There's a movie about it?
You never seen the movie?
Uh-uh.
Yeah.
Actually, I feel like in school they showed it, but we never finished it. That or I might have fell asleep. Can't remember.
Lenny.
Of course, Lenny. Lenny, yeah. Got that Lenny factor about you.
Nah, I kind of have always been like, and Zach is going to be this way too, because I was an affectionate little boy.
Yeah.
I was a mama's boy. My daddy worked second shift and home and regulate much like I do. But if that's all you get from him, that's all you're gonna see. I hated that.
Yeah.
But just like navigating that and watching and seeing is just what is he gonna really like get a hold of? I don't know how big he's gonna be, but I'm actually doing a lot of work on him being mean.
Yeah.
And letting him not scolding him if he gets.
You mean like standing up for himself?
A lot of parents kind of stop them from doing that, but yeah, standing up for himself is a big thing. But oh, well, I can't really say it right, but I was scared to like get in trouble and get in fights and all that other kind of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, because and honestly, it all depends on how you parent alone at home and in front of people. Because if I knew my son was getting bullied or like there was a reason for him to stand up for himself, I'm gonna make sure he understands that what happened was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Burning something? I don't know. So that's a tough one. That's a tough one.
It is tough because you got to see.
Tell me your mentality about it right now. So, like, what's your plan for Zach when he has to stick up for himself?
I see Zach getting hurled around or getting made fun of in a situation where he needs to punch a kid. I'm back in the bushes like Homer did. But I got to be able to see. Because I'm not going to let him get hurt, but I have to let him get hurt.
Yeah.
Has to know it's real. I think that's what happens with a lot of kids when it comes to spoiling.
They don't know what
they don't know.
To get hurt.
They don't know what's real. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like a lot of the times girls go off with these crazy dudes because they really don't know what's real, and by the time they figure out,
and they think they know better.
By the time they figure out it's too late. Yeah. Because now they can't go, or this and that 5-year. So yeah. I have to let them get knocked on his. Fortunate. I was always cradled, and that's not my dad's fault. My dad would have handled things a little differently, but my mom was very overprotective, especially over me because I'm the only.
Yeah.
Her little brother is the baby of the family, which she took care of for a while, not because of the absence of her parents, but that's their age group was. This is my baby, you know. This is my 10 years older than me.
Okay.
Oh, am I 34? No, not even 20.
Oh.
So yeah, I kind of like do that. But my dad, they actually had a lot of.
Hold on.
It's burning. Huh?
Okay. What do you delegate the stands on him physically standing up for himself if it was like a verbal abuse, like a verbal bullying, or anything like that? Physically, obviously, it's like if they put one hand on you, go all out. Don't kill him.
My thing is, you give him a couple shots. Somebody's going to mess with you. You have to let them know that somebody's going to fun. Somebody's going to go out in the crowd.
Yeah,
happen to you. React so violently or so bad that it makes.
Yeah.
Or so just kind of second time, or let it go until it makes you feel comfortable, and then you make, hey man, give them a verbal warning, shake your head, this and that, and the third. Other times, like after that, you go ahead and you cuss them out. Or it just seems like so many. I've only given people honestly
For what?
4 chances.
Oh, I'm a 3 strikes you're out kind of guy.
I mean, I'm just kind of thinking about the situation and it'll change. And if you got that, if you got that daily bully in school, it's a 1-2.
Right.
It's a 1-2. You got somebody that kind of randomly, like, you just got to make sure you yourself enough.
Yeah.
Like somebody, you know what I mean? Like, because then you don't want to have to do it all the time.
Right.
That's the thing. So just set your after you let somebody know, let them know, but maybe a little more aggressive.
It is progressional, but depending on the situation, that progression can happen in a matter of seconds, a matter of minutes, or days.
Oh, it's not a time. It's not a time period at all. Like, I mean, you know what I mean? Somebody's repeatedly calling you the B word. You say shut up in the middle of the first, second, third sentence.
Right. So that's a progressional time where it's like an instantaneous thing. Like if someone's doing it live, no, like I've given you 3 chances now. If you continue to bother me, then something's gonna happen. So like that's an immediate thing. But like you were saying, like there are different times. Like let's say somebody's just randomly doing it. Like say week 1 and then week 4 and then week 7. It's like, hey, look, I've tried to tell you and I've tried to be nice. Like you can't keep doing this to me. I don't appreciate it.
Right.
And then the more it happens, be a little louder about it, because like as long as you can get comfortable with understanding that you have to let your surroundings know that you are in a position of being uncomfortable,
I always tell
you have witnesses.
Tell an adult.
Yeah.
If it's a school situation, tell the teacher.
Yeah.
Because if this teacher comes,
snitching.
If this teacher comes to me, says I had no idea what was going on, I'm gonna be on your way.
Yeah.
Because I don't like bullies.
Yeah.
And that's a good way to find out, you know, like if you're not telling the teacher that something's happening, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
So let this teacher know what's going on. I don't expect you to do shit about it. Let's be real. The teacher's not going to do it. That's just the idea I have burnt in my head based off experience and just general faith in humanity.
Yeah.
But if she can tell me that came up and told me that this was happening, I'm not. You're not even in trouble at that point.
Yeah. Because
I was so much the person I never messed with anyone. Mine was always just real explosive. I didn't never hit too many people. People, it was just always real explosive. I got in trouble for standing up and cussing a girl out in the 8th grade because she repeatedly called me stupid and said anything. Literally trying to get help on my homework. Which is how you get unstupid. So, bitch, I know. Shut up. But so I got in trouble for that. But a lot of people actually stopped messing with me because of how mad they saw me get, not because of how weak they thought I was too big to be that mad.
Yeah,
it's just like it.
Like the hope.
So, but yeah, no, I actually I studied that a lot. And and they get to the point where I'm not gonna let my son go out here and experience this and continually get in trouble because I know what's going on. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna paint him to be a certain way.
Yeah.
It's either gonna be a saint or a sinner.
Yeah.
And the sinner's list is enormous, right?
Yeah.
But I maybe be in that gray area somewhere where it's just kids. It's just
for me, like I'm already prepared to teach them how like self-defense. With Kai, he's already, you know, when he gets mad, he stomps off and goes punches stuff. So I already got to deal with that. Like I said, dude, like he's 3 going on 13. He's not turning 4 next year. Or in January. He's turning fucking 13.
That fool a job application.
I feel like Azrin and Zach are very similar. Azrin's the big teddy bear, but I know he's got that killer instinct in him because I see the way he treats our chickens. He's got that Lenny feature in him, man.
Oh,
Like so, like he's very like with you. He wants to be picked up. He wants to play. Like the same
mm.
way with Danielle. Like with me, he don't come to ask me to pick him up because he knows I won't. But I'll play with him.
How you let me pick him up then?
I don't.
Oh, I just do it. Okay, my
Y'all
bad.
don't ever listen
I
to
made
me.
that rule. I made that rule. My bad.
I'd be like, Azar, no. And then you, Zach, my dad, everyone, they're like, all right, come on. And I was like, but I don't try to take that away from you guys because, you know, Zach, I have to be like, no, for real. Because Zach, he's like, he's got some like back injury issues or whatever. So I have to be like, Zach, remember, no. And he's like, no, can't today. And I have to like be like, no, get the hell out of here. But no, with Azran, he's very soft when it comes to dominant men, and it's like girls will talk to him, but like he's not looking for them to pick him up. But with the chickens, he's out there trying to beat on them with sticks, trying to poke them, trying to grab them, picking them up with aggression. Like I don't know what it is. I think he's just got that thing where like he understands when there's a dominant aspect in the room, but when there's something smaller than him, I don't know. It's just foreign because like. With the chickens, it's just very weird. But he also dismantles flies. He will disassemble a fly by the limb, wings, head, body, legs.
That's wild.
No, like he was doing this thing when we were at the other house during the summer because that's where all the flies and fruit flies are out. Like they'll be against the window, and he'd catch them. He'd come up and be like, "What this?" And they'd be. And his fingers, and he's got it to the point to where like I know he has them like he's like, you're not going anywhere. And then next thing you know, like I'm like, put that down. Huh?
This shit would be proud.
And then I'll turn away, and the next thing you know, he's coming back and he's got them in his hand like this. Hearts.
All right.
You look on the windowsill, wings. Body.
Oh no!
Leg or two.
Spiders up there like, man, what's in the middle of it?
Oh, he took mine. I don't want to deal with him.
Yeah, man, it's
Silas is gonna be the like the little kid from Malcolm in the Middle, the youngest.
Oh God,
He's gonna be the deviant.
What's his name? Dewey.
Yeah.
What's this? Keeps catching my eye.
Oh, that's my clock. Press the button.
Yo. I wish I could see this right now. Oh, still can't.
Well,
And anyways,
small.
anyways, it's a clock. It's a clock on this little thing. It's distracting me. I've been looking at it. It look like one of the cannons from Mario, so I was gonna see.
We are on the topic of kids today.
I am a child. I am a child. Admit it. Admit it. And now it's 2:10. I know that. Okay, I'm good.
That was a very child response. It's 2:10 and I know it now. Wait a minute, I'm gonna count to 58. So it's gonna be 2:11.
Hey, yo, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
So I got a phone call. This is completely off topic. Right before I left here, I was actually taking a little bit of time because I was on the phone. Who would win? Between Stingmeaner, Frieza.
Stingmeaner all day. What are you talking about?
What? Now, what's your why? Why is
that? I mean, in a comedic sense, he was presented a second chance from hell. The devil was like, nah, you have shown me you've got great strength. I'm gonna go ahead and throw you back in there because I know you got that in you. Frieza he's gone through many types of hell. But none to which he was ever granted a second life.
Right.
So when the highest of the belows are giving you a second life, yes, you're stronger, hands down. Now Frieza is obviously universally destructive.
Right.
But
that's a hell of a force, man.
You're not that strong if you can't get out of hell.
So it was definitely a lot I had to say about Sting. Endurance and dexterity toward the evils.
Yeah.
He's got that on lock, man.
And as far as their hate for monkeys, he's got the stronger hate.
Oh no, dog. I don't know. Frieza blew up the whole planet.
But he was also letting them work for him. He worked alongside one, Vegeta, when he was little.
Yeah, that's true.
So it was only that, and you know what? He was so scared that he had to destroy the whole planet because he knew they were going to get to a certain point. Think meter is like Cell; he'll take them head on. What you gonna do?
Let them get to their strongest, then. You know?
I'm gonna let you power up.
Then I had to compare the Ginyu Force with the Hateocracy. The Ginyu
The
Force
Hateocracy?
does not stand a chance.
Hell no! Did you see how they was beating on
Bushido Brown?
Grandmaster Bushido Brown?
With that boy's head off, man.
I was about to put fire across your lip.
So then we had to ask, was it more of a grudge holding the match or is it an actual fight match?
What do you mean by a grudge?
Like, who can hold the greatest?
It's got to be a hateocracy.
It is because it's over a parking spot.
They hate people, and although they don't really care for Stink Meter, they were like, "Hey, that's our dude from back in the day." So you're not just going. They at the end of it, they're like, "Oh, we don't give a fuck about him, but that's our homie."
I forgot about that part, but yes,
See,
you're
when you think
right.
about the Ginyu Force during the Namek Saga, they all split up. As soon as they found out that each one of their own specific team was getting picked off, they were more worried about themselves surviving than the fact that their teammate dropped.
Yeah, Captain Ginyu went out like the biggest.
They're the Ginyu Force of the Frieza Force. They're not a standalone force of their own. They're under Frieza's army. So they're the Ginyu Force under Frieza's army. But when other people of Frieza's army were being picked off, they didn't care about anything but themselves.
Yeah, because they wasn't even there.
Right.
Yeah.
They didn't care.
Dang. Well,
the Hateocracy, they were all for themselves and each other.
They were for themselves and each other.
Yeah.
At the same time, hating niggas. As long as you hated a nigga, the Hateocracy member there to embrace you. I promise. Oh, that is one. Except for Uncle Ruckus. Not being a Hateocracy. Whew. Okay, that was a good question. Back to these kids though. See, we get to stream for much longer now since I ain't got to go to work. So which one of your kids might be like Stingmaker?
Kai or Silas.
Why you ain't hesitate?
Because of how he acts now.
Okay, which one of your kids is great?
I feel like Silas is Stinkman. Kai might be granddad. Kai's still caring.
Grandpa don't care about nothing except for himself.
He cares. It's just in the light of it.
He
wouldn't still be putting Huey and Riley up in that house if he didn't care. He just has an attitude about it, like an older
that's fair
father of his time would.
That's fair.
Because he's sitting there wondering where the family's at, but he can't say it, so he's got shut your ass up, boy.
My sweet Luna.
What's for dinner?
Back of the killer. Back of the Killer Kung Fu Wolf bitch ass.
That one was funny as hell.
Yeah.
Did you say the Kumite?
Kumite.
What typhoon?
15 wolves.
And I looked up, he did his birthday on Google. It is 114.
He lied. They do that shit even more nowadays. I'm telling you, man, bring Aaron Magruder back because I mean, I don't know how he could ever come back or if he ever would, but
easy.
It's so much material out there.
Yeah, there is. Like all he has to do is do what's his name from regular show. Yeah, so like the creator, I forget his name somehow.
Oh, I don't know his name.
I feel like I should know this, but anyway, he went from that, knowing his show should have been Adult Swim material. He went and made Close Enough.
I heard that one.
Yeah, it's on HBO Max.
Go check it out.
It's so funny. It's so fucking funny. Oh my god, it's funny. Oh, that's crazy. So, okay. Who would win in a fight? Chi-Chi No, Videl or Killer Kung Fu Wolf bitch.
Oh, Luna got it. Luna got it. Look, man, Videl cool and
She don't got that killer.
she ain't got the killer in
She
her.
got an attitude.
Killer Kung Fu Wolf bitch literally said, "Kill one, kill them all." Right?
I mean, come on.
I mean, come on. We gotta go to the bathroom.
Don't leave me hanging out.
Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. But yeah, no, I think it's definitely got. I mean, almost anybody from Boondocks. I think they trump a lot more people than. I mean, it wasn't much magic in that show, but it's magic in the power of niggatry.
Yeah.
For niggatry.
About a job applicant.
Yeah, Uncle Ruckus was so problematic. Oh my goodness. First episode.
I told myself I was gonna watch that show for some reason.
Hey man, we can do that. Let's do it. So do a review of our favorites and some of the ones we might have underrated or something. I don't know. I'm down.
Go back and watch all 4 seasons, 3 seasons.
If Aaron McGruder, I think, did 3 seasons, and the 4th season wasn't here. Something like
Really?
that. Yeah, the last season of Boondocks wasn't written by him.
Wow, I didn't know that. Makes sense.
Yeah, because you don't really hear about it, right? They had that creamy crack episode, was pretty funny.
Yeah.
It was like they was doing Breaking Bad with hair product.
Yeah.
But it was.
He went furloughed with Onceler.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty much became a slave. Yeah.
But now also the
Ooh, I got a good one. Bruce Lee or Grandmaster Bushido Brown. Finally.
Bushido Brown went out like a hoe. Collected all that money just to get his head chopped off. Giving Bruce Lee all day, man. All right, I got a question.
Yeah.
You might be biased. Zachary or Azra? Bare Knuckles. Baby Fight Club.
I don't know, because that's a whole lot of screaming and crying from Azrin, but he has the push of a linebacker. I've seen him launch Kai. Like, it's not like a topple. This man.
That anime where they skip across the ground.
No, like, cause you know how you get pushed, like you stumble or you topple, right? No, when Azrin pushes Kai, and even Silas now, when he's super mad, they're immediately on the ground. It's crazy, and I like
caught him in time so much.
So okay, let me tell you this, and it might change your bias. The first time Azrin had a full anger meltdown when Kai was messing with him, the first thing he went and did was grabbed a fork and held it handle and prongs down.
Oh shit!
And he went after Kai. Stabbing motion at the ready. I turned and looked and I was like, hey. And he was like, huh. Like he snapped out of a blackout and dropped the fork. And I was like, what the fuck just happened? I was like, dude, leave him alone because you don't even realize what just almost happened to you.
Yeah.
And I think Azrin understands his anger, but like there are points where he knows, like when Kai messes with him to a point to where he wants revenge, Azrin will seek that revenge. He will chase him around the house, climb up and down the bed, go through holes, go under the tables, under the chairs, everything. He will follow the direct path to get to Kai, to hit him, smack him, and those hits. I'm sure Zach has heavy hands, but Azrin's you can hear from the kitchen.
Oh.
If he hits hard enough, if he doesn't hold back, he hits from the kitchen. And I would want to choose Zach because I know Azrin has these moments where he acts like a fucking crybaby. But I only stay Azrin because understanding his potential now, oh my gosh. I don't even want my oldest nephew, Junior. Well, he's not the oldest, but the oldest one here, fighting Azrin. Azrin gets a hold of a sharp weapon. That's his leg, his stomach. Because Azrin, he hits with a downward strike.
Oh.
And if it, like, depending on how far he cocks that bag. So I don't know. I have to know. I have to know where Zach's potential is to really understand
that's
that.
What I have to ask. Tell you, the first thing you said was on the whole lot of crying and screaming.
And it just sound
Zach over like,
but Azrin,
get over there and get him then. He ain't got no brothers. He don't know what that means. Like Ozzy know what that means.
And Azrin expects you not to get back up because he doesn't want to do it. We were having a talk about how you were. Azrin's like you.
Yeah.
I feel like as much as we know Zach right now, him and Silas are about the same. Silas will hit back, but he'll cry first. Azrin is a standout on his own. Because Kai, I think he's in a sense where he knows something's wrong. He's mad, and he'll probably be sneaky about it. But when it's blatant, like if it's a full-on fight against another kid, I don't think he'll actually want to do it. He has to be sneaky about it. Azrin, you have to piss him off enough.
I feel
and
like
it's game over. We're pitting our kids against each other.
I think this is hilarious. Only dads though. Only dads. Moms can't have these conversations without like, don't they?
You really think so? Boy, come here.
They gonna be the ones that had the kids in the ring first. It's like, bro, we just talking.
No, because she really think. Why are your earrings coming out? I'm just saying. No, stop.
No,
shut up.
We didn't start it yet. But Zach actually. Zach got his sister scared real quick.
Really?
Real low. She wasn't scared. She's scared to hit him back. She's the oldest. She also has older sisters that are younger sisters.
She's what, 5?
6.
Okay.
7 in March.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, she was born in 2017. Yes, 7 March. But she doesn't want to hit Zach back, but I tell her to. Or like, you know what I mean? Don't. But she'll kind of. He's still going like, shut up. Like he's definitely a younger brother right now. But I don't know. I haven't seen him. I really haven't seen Zach's like that. Not like lose his temper.
Yeah.
Not like wanting to fight.
Yeah.
And because serial incident or something like, not like to where he want to get it. Like, but also I work second shift. But I mean, he might have gave Willow. He probably does give. She be nervous. You could tell. You could like when I see him in the morning time and stuff like that. Not like while they eating cereal and having breakfast type of nervous.
There's
like,
those moments where like if
she's scared to piss him off.
Yeah. If you pay attention to the wild enough, you'll understand what. See, that's the thing with Azrin. If I really wanted to give him a boost, I'll have Zach take his food. I'd be like, Zach, go take Azrin's food and just. Azrin will blow up heavier about food more than anything. Take his food. He's like, hey. He's like, foodie. Don't fuck with Azrin and his food. Kai does it all the time. He'll sit there and just touch his plate. He won't go to grab the food because he knows better. But he'll sit there and fuck with him by touching his plate or like messing with his cup. And Azrin's like, no. And he'll start to sit there and cry and like yell and everything. But that's before, because that's the warning. Because once he touches anything, he'll go, "Don't touch my food." And then I'm like, oh shit. I have to be like, yo, leave him the fuck alone. I'm waiting for them to get old enough to actually start fighting because, like, when they're younger, it'll be annoying because I can just sit there and be like, sit down. When they get older, I'm like, take that shit outside.
You gotta make it look like soul food. Grab them up and then, no, get off of
no,
me.
if they get to fighting in the house, I'm hemming them both up. I'm like, all y'all outside. Gloves up, you're fighting me now.
We gotta get the gloves.
Yeah, no, get gloves. She has a whole bag that I use. Yeah, she used to do boxing when she was younger.
Look, let me tell you something. I'm so glad my dad wasn't a gloves type of guy. Because when I tell you, like, I have a bad temper, I got it from him. I wasn't about to be outside punching on nobody, my daddy. Because for one thing, if we get to that point, he's already mad.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Yeah.
I don't want that. Like, that it cools the fed. Not piss that man off.
That's how I am. I feel like my dad's like too. My dad will have a temper about things, but when it comes to like a full blow up, I feel like him and my brother had a lot in common with me. Everyone kind of like knows not to piss me off, and I'm not saying this like to toot my own horn, but like I have that factor. Like I'll sit and wait. I'm a patient angry, but like when there's that moment where I've got to blow up, it's like leave or deal with the consequences. And there's only been a few people who've actually had to deal with the actual consequences. But
that family member had a moment. Everybody knows.
Crazy. Yeah. See, and my dad, he till this day, he'll be like, "Oh, Michael was a crazy one when he was little. He'll sit there and stare at you angrily."
You one of them? What was it called? Premeditated crazy.
Yeah, because like I've told plenty of times in the bath staff streams, like I can walk into a room and find a weapon with just about anything.
Let me tell you, if anybody wants anything bad enough,
I think we've talked about it too.
Yeah, hell yeah. Like I ain't got no gun. It's a sock over here. I'll turn into mankind up this motherfucker, man. I don't know, but like, yeah, I'm kind of that way. Kind of scary because people don't know how to approach that kind of situation. So like, you gotta make sure you know what kind of school he's going into.
Yeah.
If he grows up this way, had too much shock hope.
Yeah.
Accepted, not a white or a black. What's going on the buses?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What's going on in the classroom type of shit.
And it helps to make the kids aware that those things can happen.
What kids? Your kids.
Yeah, in general. Like in general.
Other people's kids don't get no lessons.
No, I mean like in general for everyone. Like for you, it's like you've got yours to tell, and then I've got mine to tell. But like ours, I feel like we have to let them know, hey, if you see something's wrong, let someone know, because something could happen to that person, and then you're stuck with, hey, I should have did something. Or if you feel it's right, intervene. But never intervene on something that's not your business unless it's really called for. Like if someone's sitting there getting pummeled and no one's doing anything but recording and laughing, get up and do something.
Yeah, you gotta get up.
Unless it's like a weapon type of thing, then go get help.
Got a knife out.
Yeah,
for real. Real easy to get hurt out here.
Strange world that we live in, where we have to prepare our kids for stuff like that. School shootings, people bringing a weapon to school, what to do when you see a weapon being used on another person.
What years was the Wild West?
Question.
Let's see.
It'd have to be 1800s.
Had to be late 1800s, early 1900s.
Yeah. It's a weird transition going from like Pilgrim days to Cowboy days. Because that period's not talked about enough.
No. Well, for one thing, I always revert to when I say we're living in such hard times. I mean, only through stories, knowledge, but motherfuckers will just run up in your shit and take it.
Yeah.
And kill you. Type stuff. And we're kind of going.
History's repeating itself.
Exactly. So it was a 300-year span from 1607 to 19.
1607?
Started, I guess, building. Um,
Damn, 300 years.
it was a period from the early 19th century to the early 20th century. So I guess the start date of the American frontier was probably way more different than the Old West.
Yeah.
But probably not. What's the start of the early night? Oh, yeah. What's the start of the early 19th? No.
I didn't even know that we were in the 21st.
Only because I know it's okay. So here's the thing. The early 19th century, 1801 to 1900.
So it's like the start of one is behind the century itself.
So we're in the 21st century.
Yeah.
We start that in year 2000.
Yeah. Yeah. Is that it? Counted off.
2021 01. No, it's a from 2020
So 1,000 years century.
2020 to 2020 2100. There we go. 2100.
Oh no, century's 100 years.
Yes, 100 years. So from the year 2000 to the year 2100.
Okay.
Yeah, I know it's weird because now we're saying we're in the 2020. You're saying 2020, 2020. So
I was stuck on the fact that I don't like how the centuries, but I get it. I guess between the supposed year 1 AD to 100, that was the first century. So from 100 to 200 was the second.
Mm-hmm. So, in them early years, really think about the swinging doors popping open and the doorway darkening and was really gunslinging and shit. It's like we have to understand the fact that we're still human.
Yeah. And even the shootouts in the middle of the road and stuff. What do they call them?
Drive-bys?
No, where they did in the Old West, where they did the where they would like turn around, take so many paces.
Oh,
turn around on account
it's not draw.
Yeah, it's
shootout.
Yes, it is just called a shootout. On the count of 3. Bang.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just I've seen too many other things. Look at the unrest with.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at the civil unrest. Didn't know what to do. Sharecropping, getting land took left and right. And housing market is restructuring. That's been.
Yeah.
Now we're into what advances. Pollution starts. What about that?
I'm sorry. I'm thinking. You said the start of the Western era was 1700s.
No, the start of the
1600s.
The American. Hold on. Where else? The American frontier started in
1607.
So that's when people started migrating west.
Wasn't the Bill of Rights signed in 1776?
Probably.
Something like that.
But you got to remember.
Not the Ten Commandments. It was a Bill of
Rights. I'm telling God.
That was the Louisiana Purchase. What happened in
1776? That was the Declaration of Independence, wasn't it?
First thing that showed up when I typed in what happened to 1. Yep. Yeah, July 4th, 1776. 13 American colonies severed their political connections to Great Britain. Okay.
Oh yeah, there was still a lot of British stuff going on. Remember Wild Wild West? French and the British was still over here tough, right?
Yeah. I'm having a hard time understanding the transition. When was the first locomotive created? 1804. British mining engineer, inventor, and explorer Richard Trevithick debuted the first full-scale working railway steam locomotive. 1804. Everyone dressing like. Well, I guess I know if that's the Declaration of Independence. That's how Ben Franklin and all them were dressing. But when did cowboys become?
Gotta think about two different parts of the nation.
Yeah.
Not because it's crazy. The Dust Bowl, same time.
When was the Dust Bowl?
Right.
Yeah.
So think about what's his name? Look,
1930.
Art Deco. Oh, Leonardo DiCaprio. Come on, man.
Titanic. Oh, Great Gatsby.
Great Gatsby. See, you got Jay Gatsby over here.
Uh-huh.
Right. You got Gunslinging Buffalo Bill or whoever the fuck.
Yeah.
And just all within 20 years of each other. Wild shit, right?
That's so hard to wrap your head around. At the same time, like, that's not crazy because from the 20-year span, we went from wearing clothes that didn't fit us because they were way too big to skinny jeans and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's really not. But I mean, like, you think about textiles and everything, and the clothing market back then. Like they were putting out hide to wear as vests. They were starting to get into the snake skin, jeans. The hats they were all wearing, the cowboy hats, like all of that, like, yeah. So, you know what? I don't know why I'm tripping. Cowboys and Indians. You're right. It depends on where you were at. Okay.
That should go to show you how big.
Jesus. Fuck.
The Great Gatsby was set in 1922. So you gotta think about Prohibition, World War I about to start.
Yeah. Boston Tea Party?
Boston Tea Party was like, when was the Boston?
Oh, that was 1800.
Nah, that was 1773.
Oh, fuck. Oh, okay. Leading up to 76. Okay.
Yep.
I don't know history.
So, but that's the one thing we gotta look at is like we made it. If we made it through that, the only thing that we're going off of is a lack of faith.
Oh yeah, because each generation we're like, oh, the times are so much worse than before, and they kind of seem that way, but it's really just history repeating itself. It's just we keep getting back into these points where we're kind of stuck with, oh, we need to hit that survival instinct.
But right now, black folks is mad because we haven't come as far as we should have because without being oppressed as bad. Without being legally oppressed as
you think about it in that sense, we've taken a step back because we've really held on to the fact that like the ghetto belongs to the black people, and that's not something we should be holding on to. It depends on who you talk to.
I wouldn't call it a step back necessarily because you're absolutely right. It depends on who you talk to. You say Kendrick Lamar is 10 steps ahead of a lot of people, but he wants the ghetto, or so it's said. But he doesn't. He doesn't portray the ghetto mentality.
Yeah. I guess you're right. It wouldn't be a step back because we have. I mean, one of the black community's biggest achievements was Barack Obama becoming president. But then like there's Harvard graduates, there's the ladies who back what was it, 60s 70s who helped NASA with the space stuff.
Yeah, the Hidden Figures girl. I never watched that movie.
Me neither. But I mean, just like, even before Barack became president, there's so many big things that happen, and then even artistically speaking, there's paint, there's sketches, there's drawings, there's cartoons, there's movies, films, even music, all provided by African Americans.
We haven't given ourselves, I think, if anything, the opportunity to really place ourselves in it. We're not doing it for ourselves. You know what I mean? We're not doing it for ourselves. That's what I said. We haven't taken the opportunity. It was kind of going into the same things with have issue with, where it's always a bias.
I think we're not doing it right because
I would say that
we've definitely put our place in. as an African American community, everyone knows basketball and football you cannot touch. As any other race, you are the minority. If you're African American, that's those two sports are yours.
Yeah.
That's just how it's turned out to because it's kind of like how Africans would be for being in America. Like there's just something that they shoot for. That was the era for Black or African Americans at that time. They wanted to shoot for success, for greatness. They wanted to be good or great. Sorry,
Like I was talking about my pops.
athletes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where he was coming from.
Muhammad Ali boxing. Boxing became a thing. Now it's like a Black Mexican thing.
Yep.
But I think when I say we're doing it wrong, I think that's the best way to put it because, like, BET was a good start. I'll use that as an example. BET was a good start, but I really feel strongly when it comes to Stacey Dash's comment that we we don't need to hold on. You ain't even
fine no more, bitch.
We don't need to hold on to, labeling things as Black. That was her message, but everyone just kind of took it as, oh, so you don't represent Black people anymore. You're Black. We stood behind you, blah, 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 this and that. That's not what she was saying. What she was saying is that, we don't have to label things as Black to get the point across. Like, now we're thriving as African Americans. You should be able to just thrive as an African American. You don't have to label it as a Black thing.
Black is almost like a hashtag.
It's unnecessary. Like, you don't have to be the first Black person to do anything. Just be the person to do it.
Back to it, because I probably talked about this on here. Chris Rock. Rock has never really been accepted by Black community the way that Dave Chappelle and others have.
Chappelle's not even accepted by the Black community.
Not as much. But here's the thing. Is Chris Rock as funny as Chappelle? Chris Rock is not all the way.
I think it's just how they deliver it. If you can receive their delivery, I think I can't really put them. Will Dave Chappelle make me laugh? Yes, because he's more goofy than Chris Rock is.
Yeah.
Chris Rock's got that grit, but Chappelle's got that goofiness that I.
Okay. Since they got a special coming out, how would you compare Kevin Hart and Chris? More comparable?
I think as far as delivery, Chris Rock, Kevin Hart's just super, super goofy. He is viral goofy in a sense that he looks to make things chanted. Chris Rock wants to let you know that I would put if there was a good conversation about comics, I would pit Eddie Griffin and Chris Rock together.
That's an interesting take.
Yeah.
And it's fair, but Eddie Griffin's just from Kansas City, and he gonna let you a little bit more just outgoing person.
Yeah.
Comedy.
Yeah.
But I say that.
What up, Sean? You good, man?
What
How's
up,
it going?
Sean? But as far as like,
probably do have to wrap up in like 15 minutes.
45.
It's so good.
What was I gonna say to you? Chris Rock, people accepting him. Yeah, these are the same people that are saying like that's not Black comedy.
Yeah,
that's bullshit. That's not Black comedy that you're associating, because he had different problems based on the however many show that he had. Explaining that to you as a Black man, it's a lot of people with those problems. I relate to Chris Rock on a high level.
Uh-huh.
A level a lot of people don't understand, but that's where I can say I can agree with. Oh, look, man, she used to be so fine. That's all she's. But I also feel like she.
Who? Stacey? So here's the thing. A lot of people had the same response that you did. Oh, you're Black and you're saying this about Black owned, things. It's like, what are you doing? But you really have to think about it. Like, don't be so prideful. Like, be understanding. Like, be progressive. With Chris Rock, I hated to hear that he was getting flack about his comedy because he did it wasn't called Hairspray, right?
Yeah. Black Hair Love. No. That's Harry. What did you say it first?
His like
Hair or
movie
something.
documentary that he did
Yeah,
about
I
black
know what
women's
you remember
hair.
talking about.
So he said that, or he did that, right? And then he said the thing about Jada Pinkett Smith, and then everyone was like, "Oh, so this is your comedy, even though you were the one who did the movie about black women's hair."
Hold on. Here's the thing. He gave us Pootie Tang.
Yeah,
Watch it.
Chris Rock gave us a lot of stuff,
He did. Everybody hates Chris as a staple. I don't care what nobody says.
and also he gave us the reason to actually think a black man could be president. Head of state.
Head of state feels bad, mighty low. Got no place to go. Come
Security.
on, man.
Ah! The funniest thing out of that movie when I was a kid, they were asking people who you're gonna vote for, and that black guy with his family, he's like, "What voting you voting for?" I don't know why, but when I heard that, I was like, "What?" As a kid, I was cracking the hell up, man. My stomach was hurting on that.
He also gave us Down to Earth.
Oh
Down
yeah,
to Earth was
yeah.
a good movie. But the thing
Just
is,
him in general, like the way he just hits you with that rawness of his delivery on his stand up.
like, people don't watch Saturday Night Live, right?
Yeah.
Chris Rock is funny. I don't care what anybody says.
He
has it.
is.
But take this back to the Andre joint. You have to be able to open your mind in order to say something before you call it, before you say that it's black or not. Because black runs way more into other situations that
Yeah. Yeah.
it's like, and that's what people have to understand. You can't tell me I don't have a black experience.
Here's a good example to that. The Kings of Comedy didn't say Black Kings of Comedy. The Kings of Comedy never said Black Kings of Comedy, but they knew what their audience was. But they also knew that the black people were the most people bootlegging stuff.
Eventually, you start to sound like Granddad. He was the first black, the great granddaddy. Like, I do that with my other homeboy Mike. Me and him would walk around the work doing.
I remember like it was yesterday. Granddad, you weren't even a part of that event. Shut your ass up, boy.
Did you bring a raincoat?
This nigga went and brought a motherfucking raincoat. Bet you wish you had your raincoat right now. You son of a bitch.
I'm dead.
Oh man.
But yeah, no, like you can't like. Eventually, like I was thinking about era. That racism isn't dead. Off the color of the skin, racism is very well alive.
Yeah.
In the industry, I see so many black kids working to do third. It's not existing. They fucking up just like the white kid.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like it doesn't. I hope that we do kind of stop talking about something.
Oh, okay. So saying
sorry.
that, no, you're spot on with what I was gonna want to say. That right there, that one line. Morgan Freeman's interview. There you go.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
Yes.
And it's a lot of people found that offensive. It's
I
well,
loved it.
How could you not raise awareness? What does raising awareness really do?
Really?
Like, and I hate to say that because I don't want to discredit anybody's genuine desire to change something. But raising awareness only opens doors for people to manipulate.
Because raising awareness allowed the media to tell you that the awareness wasn't real. Black Lives Matter told you that the awareness wasn't real because then you turned it to All Lives Matter, Blue Lives Matter. The awareness is there. It's that your naivety doesn't allow you to be open-minded and understanding the fact that there is still oppression even after the oppression was supposed to have been stopped. And for those movements, it only got so far and took steps back. With rap, NWA, all the rappers and all the people in that era who were discriminated against. Jeff? I'm saying his name wrong, and I shouldn't be. Is it King? The one who got beat in the street.
Oh, Rodney King.
Rodney King. Okay. So even that, like that was the first broadcasted brutal cop beating of a black man on live television. That's why it was so big. But then they take things like OJ, then they take things like how Flavor Flav was always in the news for dumb stuff. Like they take all the negatives and they apply it to this, and they're like, oh, well, aren't you guys always in the news for this and that? Like, well, hey, the reason why we even made the news in the first place is because there's a negative image implemented on this certain group.
I'll put that on.
Yeah, and it's like you see that the guys are constantly being beat up, stopped by police, just really abused by police authority, and the only thing you hear is that, oh, they were gang members. There's a label put in front of it, and then like that's just people don't think around things.
On there right after it happens. Awesome.
People don't think around things. They just see so much of it. They're like,
Yeah, you see nobody trying to put up like
right, because then they're just like, well, I think anyone who's under that deserves it. Like, wow.
Yeah.
You don't get to say anyone deserves anything.
Yeah, but I mean, can't say that. That's why it's hard to speak on matters where people are so strong in the awareness thing, i.e., it is thin ice treading gay rights, and
yeah,
they want to tell everybody. They want to make sure everybody knows in order to get themselves out of situations. Thing,
yeah.
To want to let.
There's a yeah.
You have those are things that you have to do behind closed doors because we know how terrible this world is.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to say, as long as things are going a certain way, like there's going to be people with issues.
Yeah.
I hate that. I'm not one of them, and I'm not saying that it shouldn't be anything done about it. I think harsher punishment should be given to anybody that does crazy to something.
Yeah.
But
that about
I just got to sum it up real generally.
Yeah.
But we know what's going to happen. You have to let people know that it's going to happen because seriously, by shouting at people all the time, you're not getting it.
We have to be a people that is prepared for anything that's already happened. But because like if you have that preparedness, you kind of have an understanding of how to be prepared for anything that's new.
But how do you get people? Listen, how do you get people from driving into crowds of people? How do you get men from not battering people, but how do you get women start understanding that these aren't the right, that you have to do something about when that happens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You take advantage of the time that you're giving kids in school to learn them about awareness.
That ain't gonna work. I ain't got no faith.
And that's where it starts. Honestly, that's where it starts. If there's a turnaround with how with the generations and how everything can be taught, you teach them in school. Like everyone's been making the same argument. Why are we teaching the fundamentals of an adult to kids in high school? Why are we still teaching them things that they're not going to use?
It's all about design, baby.
Like if they want to learn history, let that be a like a free thing they choose, not a prerequisite. Because what about the history in these books is actually true? There could be some truth, but I mean, like.
But at the same time, you gotta sit and ask yourself though, like I said, how many times have you heard the story of the girl got with that guy? Everybody in her family lined up and told her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Friends, or
her friends.
Because we all have that nature in our minds when we're young. Like, hey, I'm gonna do it anyway to find out because I think I know better.
It's a certain age. It's like at some point in time because you're going against at one point what I would hope your parents.
Yeah.
It's let somebody know if they're harming. It's get out of a situation that you don't feel safe in.
Yeah.
And if you get to the point to where you can't do that because of coercion and kind of stuff. That's how, like I was saying, like people don't understand how real it can get.
Yeah.
That's how real it can get.
Yeah.
And I hate it. I would love to be the person to tell some girl or whoever, you know what I mean? What they need to hear in order to free themselves.
I mean, I feel like that's a really good session to have throughout high school when for all fresh. I mean, like I feel like you can have that through middle school all the way through college, like awareness of defense and like when to put yourself in situations and what to look out for. Like just the complete spatial awareness is.
What would you have guaranteed to do to make sure that's in? Because clearly at this point there's never going to be enough kids getting killed or girls getting beat inside those school walls for it.
Instead of making it an awareness thing every time and after it happens, implement it to be a lesson learned at least once a week, a review once a week.
Now, okay, so how would you go about putting that intact? You got to vote, don't you?
No,
Yes.
no,
That's exactly how you get things changed in the school
no,
government.
because there people have voted against things and it never changes. The thing is like,
But that's what I'm getting at.
yeah,
That's where it's
okay,
like you can't tell people that you can't even get a block. We can't even get a block of school institutions.
yeah,
You know what I mean? It would be a perfect world, wonderful if it happened. But like I'm looking at what I've seen transpire in my life, and it's just like you might try that route.
and you
You know
know
what I
what?
mean?
Even if the schools fail you into saying like,
They
if
feel
the
me big time. Thank God.
yeah,
No.
if the votes fail, which most likely they will, and you know, somebody or some way in the community there could be someone can take the time to construct like a monthly meeting where they bring in women of all ages, kids of all ages to learn certain things. Like if there is a community center, allow people to fill up any and all chairs to stand in for like an hour or so to learn and be aware of everything. I understand that if you have it at a community center, you're pretty much just letting anyone who is actually an
Ike Turner's
assailant
gonna walk his
know,
ass right through them doors.
because you're pretty much letting the person who is the assailant sit in on those things. Like, oh, what are you
Uh-huh.
guys aware of? Okay, I'll work around these.
Yeah, I'll work around
Yeah,
doing this. I
but
done
at
told
least
everybody.
when you give people the tools to be aware, the assailant's not going to try to use everything that they've learned. They're going to try to understand you as a person,
So you're
like
talking
as a
about like
target.
a private
No, a
lesson.
public.
Well, no, a public, but in private. So I
Oh,
know
okay.
sell it in. But
Yeah.
guess what? That is something that is offered to people easily because of phone lines
Yeah.
and help is. I mean, I don't know how much help it is, but there are systems, there are homes, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You have to like literally inside each person.
Yeah.
Not do.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so hard. Is like you can scream as loud as you want to. That person isn't going else matter. And it's so negative of me. Just through my experience and life
No,
walking
yeah.
around this earth. It's
But you're also open-minded to think that someone who actually would make it you could see it through.
yeah, I think
You're just thinking of the
anybody
possibilities.
at all is capable. I believe that until the very breath I don't have in my body. But it just depends on your capacity to
Yeah.
do so and your desire to do. A lot of people like they get to that level where they want to give up. You're already there. That's where those guys hone in on a lot.
Yeah.
Gave up. Oh, I see that one. She ain't got much.
I
But you
think
in here now? You ain't got much will anyway. Come on.
that's a good place to start, though. Like, have depending on how big your city is, have one or two locations where like, you can host an event, like rent out a venue, host an event to like, you know, encourage people of their community to be a tight knit community and look out for your other person's kids. You don't have to watch them. You don't have to make them know yours. You don't have to care, but care that that person or that person's children, or them kids don't get harmed. And if you see or hear something, like make the necessary call. And like anyone who's living in the so-called ghetto or who's lived the hood life, any like the whole snitching thing needs to just be stopped, because we don't all live the street life. Therefore, snitching doesn't exist, and it shouldn't exist. If you're not a street person, if you're not a hood person, you just live there. Snitching should not matter.
Person or person that you happen to live.
Yeah,
That just means you got to be locked inside.
that's how it should
Because
always
look, hey,
be.
look, honestly, not a fan of this unless it is directly affecting your family negative.
Mhm.
So if you know the neighborhood crackhead,
Yeah,
he didn't mess your mama out, or she done spent up your money, sold the TV and 2 couches. Tell on that man.
Yeah.
Because he shouldn't be selling crack in his neighborhood anyway.
yeah,
Hey, if you know somebody, uncle, beating on your auntie and this and that and the third, yes, tell them that man.
Mm.
But if somebody done killed somebody and you don't know what happened, you just seen somebody fleeing.
don't say it because you don't know anything.
It's conditional, but I don't think people should take it so far to heart now.
I wouldn't call that snitching. I would just say that's,
Clean up the streets.
You're you're trying to give information to which you have none.
Got a little bit of information. You see that man. You don't know who he is.
Right.
Hey, this description.
Yeah. That wouldn't that be called? I feel like that's ratting though. Because I heard that was different.
I don't think it's no different. Dry snitching is a different thing. Or you don't have no. You kind of tell about something offsetting way, but you didn't actually say that this person did it, but you gave them information. Rest type shit. But I mean, being a rat is probably. I would just say if it was a different personal.
Yeah.
I don't know this, y'all.
Yeah.
But I just know how to stay out of street business. So yes, this is still vital information. But yeah, no, I don't believe in people being in other people's business to where you would say, we know how this goes.
Actively.
You say snitching's okay, you're gonna get a whole bunch of neighborhood watch, a whole bunch of George Zimmermans.
Yeah.
Like, no.
I think if you're actively searching for problems, that's a problem. But if you see something happening and you can actually kind of like break down what's going on, say something, The what?
The
Kyle Rittenhouse? Oh.
We don't want those. We don't need to have those. It's something.
So to round off this episode, this was a really good one, honestly.
See, I ain't got to work today.
Get better every time. The key to being an adult, seeing kids, thriving kids, or just being around children, is understand how to take your pain, your baggage, and rekindle that childhood wonder so you can be there for any kid that needs it. Because there's kids who are hungry, there's kids who have no love in the house, there's kids who have no discipline, and there's always as the kids walk in.
Is that wet? It's
wet. Yeah. Why is it? Get that out of here. Adam, please stop touching my stuff. No. Go. But yeah, no, and even if it's not kids, look out for each other, because this world is only going to get darker and more negative, and the only way you beat negative and darkness is through positivity and light.
Girls, give me the light.
You go and shut the door. I'm doing something right now. I'm almost done, but I need you to go. Any last words from you, my man?
Yeah, man. Love on these babies. Remember that you was young once. And yeah, about it. Keep sketch. The reality is anybody sketch with us? I thought that would be. I think that would be cool. So if anybody sketches with us up, and
I was always old.
Oh man, wait, we're always old into what?
Him and Zach do the same thing where they say they're old and they're younger than us.
They're younger than us?
Yeah.
Oh, I won't say nothing until your back you was in service, right? I won't say nothing about your back. Yours probably hurt way more than mine. Let me tell you about that pride, brother. I was just talking about how my son and Uncle Silas are pretty. I know. My son and Uncle Silas are pretty old men themselves, so being always old is definitely
grown. Standing up and sitting down, that's just 30s.
Yeah, that's regular. I'm talking about
you
that pain.
You did your service.
I want to make you. Yeah. I don't get no service.
John, I'm gonna holler at you later. We're about to hop off because I know she's in the other room wishing I was off. Y'all in bed by 8.
You can't yell at both of us.
Him and Zach both.
Huh?
He said y'all in bed by 8. Him and Zach both.
Man,
it's 8 o'clock bedtime.
I ain't got no 8 o'clock bedtime. I get off of work at 11, so naturally nah. But I don't know about this guy.
But another amazing, successful episode. My man Trae here. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and head out. We did start kind of late today, but that's all right. We were able to extend it because he didn't have work.
I ain't going to work today.
Thanks for watching. Hope you were able to sketch out something. I was able to do some pretty cool stuff myself.
I didn't do nothing, so I ain't showing nothing this week.
I'll show mine.
Needed it.
I have 3 different versions of myself. 3 different art styles.
I see you over there with the practice.
Yeah, getting a little better. Getting back to where I was.
Yeah.
Better.
Hell yeah.
I got a little chibi version of myself. That's what I was going for.
Chibi.
But I should be back full schedule game streaming. I'm sorry, I just needed some time.
Thank you.
I've been mentally I just needed some me time. I had to mentally pull away from social media and things, but I should be good to stream fully this weekend. So if anyone is comment coming, yes it is, I'll keep more updated with that on Thursday.
You making a comic?
Something like that, a graphic novel. I have a whole series in my head that I can actually write down. I just have to draw it out.
I got a couple myself.
But yeah, we'll go through all that next episode and next Thursday. But if you're gonna catch me on the game stream, I will be on Friday at 11 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Central Standard.
But until then, John, thanks for stopping by as always. I'll catch up with you later. Everyone else, we out. Peace.